the years following the New York City incident, that saw the coming of Gozer, the Ghostbusters became a large franchise industry. Like with any franchise, certain locations do better than others, and we find ourselves in the Syracuse, New York branch of the Ghostbusters.
Wait a
Anyone
sec. I didn't
familiar?
realize we were a franchise. That's even better. Oh, how terrible. How terrible is this? Oh, that's so good. Wait, isn't Syracuse what show was based in Syracuse? Was it like The Office or something like that?
It's
Or
very
No, that
close.
was in
That's Scranton, but it's
Pennsylvania.
only a
oh,
couple
it's
hours
Scranton.
away.
Yeah.
It
that's
is in
right.
the
It's
same
about a
area.
3-hour shot straight down 81 from
Alright,
from
alright, alright,
Syracuse to
alright.
Scranton. They're probably very similar cities. If you're familiar with any Rust Belt city, Syracuse is right there.
That's so
Look, I
Both
just
been
know that
fun.
when I go visit Blair and Ethan, my 2 airport choices are Syracuse or Scranton. They're in between the 2. That's all
good.
I know.
You're probably less likely to get caught in snow in Scranton. I'm just gonna throw that out there. The Syracuse branch, like everything in Syracuse, sort of struggles a little bit. uh, North of Syracuse is not a lot, a small city or two, lots of countryside, and yet that all falls under your jurisdiction. If jurisdiction you have, your service area, if you will. Um, you are you've been getting heat from the home office about your numbers. They're not great. And they're looking to make some cuts next year. So you guys are feeling the pressure.
Mm.
Um, we start off in the suburbs of Syracuse, the suburb of DeWitt, which is a little southwest of the city center. Uh, as far as opulent neighborhoods go, it's probably the closest thing Syracuse will have to one. The higher income families all live there. The houses tend to be on the nicer side,
Mm.
but we find one on top of a hill, mostly blacked out, an old gray stone mansion. And as the snow begins to fall, a stooped and bent figure makes its way up the stairs, and we find ourselves viewing from afar one Ernest Funk, who has made himself a bit of an empire over the last 30 years. One of those people that owns companies, if you will. He made a lot of money by soaking up residential properties during the 2008 collapse, and you can see generally where his modus operandi extends.
It's one of those people.
Buy it, yeah, buy it, gut it, sell it, squeeze them for whatever they got. Um, he clanks his way up the stone steps to his doorway, jingles his key in the lock, opens it up. The inside of the mansion, ostensibly nice on the outside, very Spartan and bare on the inside, little in the way of furniture. The one housekeeper who's there tidying up, little puffs of her breath can be seen on the air because, why waste money on heat? That's not a necessary expense. Um, the housekeeper
Oh,
says,
wow.
good evening, Mr. Funk. I was wondering if you remembered what we were talking about earlier this week. You want tomorrow off, yes? If that's all right. I guess if I must, but I'm going to dock your pay. That's fine, Mr. Funk. Be gone. And as the housekeeper scurries out the door before he can change his mind to spend Christmas Eve with her family tomorrow, this being Christmas Eve, he goes up to his rooms, his bedroom essentially, sits in front of his fireplace. He's got the TV on to the financial news network as he tracks investments, trends in the markets, where he can swoop in and find his next big score. And as he does, he notices a strange stillness come over the house, more still than useful. or than usual. I mean, whereas any house, especially an old one, will tick and creak thoughtfully to itself in the winter months. Those sounds have become absent, and it has caught his attention. He slowly becomes aware that the room, cold as it is, has become increasingly colder. And as he looks up at the doorway to his room, a figure steps through it. And it's a figure he recognizes. And he says, Ernest, we have much to discuss. And as he screams, the camera zooms in on the television as the financial news network cuts to a Ghostbusters commercial. And then cue the theme music.
Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. Ba-da-ba-da-ba.
Now, and you can picture the logo inside of a wreath instead of the red slash.
Cute.
uh, we find ourselves, our crew, on Christmas Eve. You guys are fairly excited. You've managed to clear a block in your schedule for the holidays. Days off aren't usually in the company charter.
Do we get paid like time and a quarter or something for working like Christmas Eve? Is there some
Well,
kind of like benefit to this?
the company gets a very lucrative upcharge for holiday things. Generally, that does not filter its way down to the Ghostbusters themselves. You do get bonuses based on your numbers, which have not been great. Um, a lot of farmers, with ghost cattle tend to pay in milk or cheese, possibly maple syrup. And not great for the bottom line. Um,
I like to think
you
that's
found your
fully Jan's fault too. He's like, "Oh, no, it's okay if you don't have the cash. We are running low on milk, at the office."
Can, can we have like in our freezer like one of those like big gigantic jugs that like from the farm milk
yeah,
jugs that's like but it's like raw milk. It's
yeah,
like
unprocessed.
illicit raw milk. You're not supposed to have it, but like it tastes so good. So
You
like
want cream for your coffee, you just scoop it off the top and put it in.
yes, exactly. Exactly.
Mm.
Yeah, 100%. Uh, your office in Syracuse is actually in an old meat processing plant, so you've got a huge walk-in cooler at your disposal.
Wow.
Tonight on Christmas Eve, you find yourself a little north of Syracuse, in the middle of the snow belt, in a village called Pulaski. Um, Spelled Pulaski, but the locals say Pulaski, and if you say Pulaski, they're going to know you're not local. That's how that works.
Wow.
Your retrofitted ice cream truck swung into town earlier this evening as you got a call as it uh, came around the corner of the main drive. It's ice cream cone that has been changed to a ghost bobbling on a giant spring, playing your theme music through the speakers on that are built into those kinds of trucks.
We hear the
Every so often it
"Ban it,
glitches.
ban it, but I
Yeah,
done ban it, ban it," as we like come
yeah.
careening around a corner somewhere.
Every so often it glitches, and you suddenly have kids chasing you down the street looking for ice
No.
cream.
All right.
That's why we're gathering so much milk. We're gonna start making our own ice cream, so when the mix-up
Yeah.
happens, we don't disappoint anybody.
Sparks
So
like has to like hit the like radio thing, just to get it to like skip back to the alarm music or to the siren, whatever it is we're using.
yeah.
Okay.
Every so often, you gotta lick your fingers and, like, make a connection with the wires.
We all see Sparks like have a little like shiver as it's like a little too much voltage,
Yeah.
but it's got to be done.
Now we know why they call them sparks.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, so the village of Pulaski has a big, Christmas festival. They bedeck the entire town out from it, and they've been having problems, literally garbage, everywhere, so they gave you a call as they expected something spectral in nature. You've engaged it, and we start in an alleyway. Um, we'll pick on Jan first, I think. As
Oh,
Jan
me.
stalks down an alley in Pulaski, New York, between old brick buildings, PKE meter had gone off. You'd gotten a brief glimpse of this thing. It went down this direction. You weren't sure if it came down this alley or the next. So you guys have split up. Each of you have your standard issue comm sets on so you can talk to one another. It's distance is not an issue. But as you stalk down this alleyway, at the end of it is a big dumpster, and you hear a rustling and a rattling. I will let Taylor set the scene from here as she sees fit.
Yeah. I think that Jan probably looks very much like she doesn't fit in the scenario that she's in currently, as you know, probably the Ghostbuster jumpsuit is on, the big proton pack backpack situation is all hooked up. But she has like a hat and a scarf and mittens that are all very obviously handmade and all obviously matching together, that go out
Yes.
of it like very like coarse, frizzy, curly, like gray hair. Like it's dappled. She doesn't have full grays, but a lot around the face. Um, big old like Coke bottle glasses. You know, they don't pay us enough to get like decent glasses. So she's still rocking
Yeah, the
some.
health insurance is bare bones.
Yeah, yeah.
Of course.
You know, this is fine though. Honestly, this is just a retirement gig. This is just something fun to keep her active, you know?
Keep her mobile.
Yeah, yeah. Look, we're only 56. She got a lot of money when her husband died, so she doesn't have to work, but she wants to. Yeah, very much does not look like it fits and is in like some like really like um what is the word that I'm looking practical footwear, looks very comfy, looks probably made specifically for like plantar fasciitis or some sort of situation, you know, they're clearly
Yes.
not just some Nikes from the store. But it's just kinda ducked down, kinda creeping, and I wanna stay, like, as far away from this thing, but get closer and try and get an eye, and I'm like, "Is it a big rat or is it a ghost?" No, like, trying to
And
get the vibes.
you hear bang, thump, thump, rustle, rustle, rustle in the dumpster.
Creeps over, grabs, like, a broom by the side of one of the doors in the alleyway and just, like, get throws the lid off the top with the edge of the broom, still super far away.
It goes up halfway, slams down. You manage that a couple times before it finally goes up and sticks all the way. And there's a moment of silence for a second. And then you hear a furious burst of movement, and all of a sudden, garbage starts flying out of this thing everywhere. And realistically, there's more garbage coming out of there than could possibly be in there.
Not a raccoon,
as
alright.
as as you say that, a spectral being floats out of this dumpster, casting its bluish green illumination all over the end of the alleyway, and you see what is the largest, fattest raccoon you have ever seen floating in front of you.
Oh, it is still a raccoon. How you doing, little guy? You know, I had a pet raccoon growing up. They're a little bigger than he Are you the ghost of him? Beef What's a good raccoon name? Bandit?
Solid. The mask,
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
gloves.
like yeah, the raccoon mask is definitely exaggerated on this ghost, and like he's just like his little arms are just barely sticking out of the fat, you know. His ass has
Ew.
swallowed his tail essentially.
Good. You are definition of being happy, huh? Alright. Well, guess I gotta do my job. Try
And
I'll just yell
he
at everyone wherever they
he
may be in the
rushes
distance.
he rushes at you, and as he does, like spectral garbage follows in his wake. So I will let you take whatever
Gross.
action you want to.
Oh boy. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm just gonna try and use my little ghost vacuum, huh? That seems like the thing to do in this moment. As my one ability I chose was investigation, so I probably should have used it already, but that's okay.
You
I'll
have time.
have time. I'll have
You found
time.
it. You did it.
I did it. I did find it. I
Yeah.
did find it. Okay, so with that, then do I roll with the associated D that's attached to it? Because it says
You'll
like
roll with your
D8 next to it.
d20.
Okay.
You roll with your d20. The d8 in this instance, this game uses something called effort, which doubles as both damage to opponents and damage to tasks. So each level of effort will have a die attached to it. So you roll with your d20.
Oh,
The each Rather than having an individual armor class in this game, each scene essentially has a difficulty challenge, and this one is 14. So whatever you do in this scene, you're always going to want to meet or beat a 14 on your d20.
beautiful. Okay, so then since I put one effort in my proton pack, I get to throw a D8 on top of this
Nope,
or
nope.
after
You'll
that.
roll your d20 and you'll add a +1 to it.
Okay.
Once you've hit,
Ooh,
then you roll your d8, and that's essentially what you're hitting. You're going to hit this
gotcha.
raccoon. Local legend has nicknamed him Rotundus the Terrible. He was a
Oh,
known
he's
he was a
adorable.
known dumpster bandit from way back.
Oh,
Uh,
that's so
Sweet little
cute.
guy.
Possibly a redneck finally, caught him in the act. And this is Rotundus's revenge.
Love it. Well, I only got a 10 with my +1.
All right.
So
Uh, so this thing rushes at you, bit startling, spur of the moment. You bring up your wand and you ignite your proton pack, the red orange beam arcing out in its somewhat unpredictable fashion, and it just scorches
oh
a
boy.
black line across the neighboring building. Fortunately, it's brick, doesn't catch fire. Insurance will probably
Excellent.
cover it, maybe.
I didn't want to have to do that sort of paperwork when we got back.
This is why our numbers are so low.
Yeah.
Yeah. a,
Look, she
lot,
can
a lot of
barely see
payout.
when I say Coke bottles.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
it's
will
just
have
kind of
you.
yips and yells. Oh, guys, I think I found our culprit.
So as he rushes
God.
past you, this spectral trash follows in his wake. I'm going to have you roll a moves roll. So in this hack,
Yay.
moves replaces dexterity. So you roll d20, add whatever your dexterity modifier has. Again, it's a flat DC for the scene. You're looking for a 14.
Yeah, okay. I'm not. This die literally rolled nothing but 16 plus for the last 3 days, and now it's not giving me anything over a 10. It's really flip flop. Oh, it's a
You
7.
burned it out. You burned it out.
Burned it.
So
Oh,
you
seven.
you are buried under a mixture of physical and spectral trash.
Yes.
So you will take 1 point off of your hit points, which is 10.
Beautiful.
For this hack, there's no death. You'll just, if you hit 0, you just gotta sit down. You gotta have a lie down. You gotta. You're. I'm done for the day. I'm
Look, I took 1
punching out. We'll
HP
come back tomorrow.
of stress here, and she's already ready to lay down. She's like, "Oh God, this
It's
is not
almost
this is not
Christmas.
good. People should watch what they throw away."
So Jan shouts out, "I've seen it," from around the corner. Um, from around the corner, Sparks hears the telltale ignition of a proton pack.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
And a bit of a distressed yelp. As you're walking down the main street, not far from the alleyway that Jan went down, this spectral raccoon sails around the corner. This trash wave following behind it, piling up in the streets, sticking to walls. It's headed your way. What are you doing?
Oh my gosh. All
Set
right.
your
Yeah,
scene.
we see like sparks like come up short as like the thing is like coming at him or past him.
It's rushing in your direction. It's
Okay.
heading at you.
All right. I think Sparks is going to dive into like the local Christmas tree like vendors like cusp of Christmas trees. Like he's gonna
Yeah.
jump over the low fence and like not quite make it. Probably like his boots are still gonna be over the fence, but he's gonna try and get into the trees to like dodge this
Okay.
ghost
So roll
specter thing.
roll me a moves.
Okay, good. And it's a D20 plus moves, and then
Yep.
since and then is this a D? Oh,
It's sort of like a save, so you won't need your effort dice. I'm just, just try to beat the 14.
yeah, that's not gonna happen. No, no, not a
Historically
million
this
years.
game does that to people. I've
Not a
noticed
million
every time
years.
I play
Mm-mm.
it. So you do make it over the fence, like you said, your boots get caught in it.
Yeah.
Um, you do not I will say because you were trying to get out of the way anyway, you were just going to take 1 point of stress damage,
Okay.
not from getting hit by this thing, but from just sort of biffing it going over this little fence. You knock down a Christmas tree and it starts a chain
Yeah, I
reaction
was about to say it's
as
gotta
they
be
all
the
go
train
down.
reaction, like the lights are starting to get pulled down, right? The, like,
Yeah.
shopkeeper's like, "Oh, no," with, like, an overexpressive face.
My
Uh,
Christmas trees. It's the
yeah,
cabbage
and,
guy.
Yeah.
Mm.
just to, like, really sell the name, we see some sparks fly off of one of the lights that pops,
Yeah.
and Sparks says, "I lured him into the open, get him!" From in the trees.
On it. And you just see a finger, like just a hand come up with a thumbs up out of trash.
Yeah.
Uncle Sam is
Yeah.
right
And that hand is coated in slime.
That's so good.
Dave, for that, I'm going to give you a hero coin, which is essentially like
Oh,
an inspiration. You'll get a free, you'll get a reroll.
thank you.
Okay. Um, yeah. Sparks leaps out of the way. It is heading down to Addie as you hear Sparks yell over the intercom. You heard Jan, you heard the proton pack, you heard Sparks, and now you round the corner to see this cascade of Christmas disaster going on in the, in the Christmas tree lot as this the fattest raccoon you've ever seen is barreling through the air directly at you.
Addie is
Looking at
about 24 and has the mannerisms of somebody much, much older. Just, okay, all right, here we go, guys. Let's do it. Let's go. Um, Kian has consumed maybe one Ghostbust in my entire life, despite being a paranormal fan. Addie would know how to catch a ghost. Kian is not quite sure.
Okay.
What
So
what can I use to trap this thing?
if you remember your training video correctly,
which was
you
required viewing upon
it
being
was required
hired.
viewing. However, the one that you watched covered the Gen 3 proton pack. You are not a Gen 3 franchise. You've got the Gen 1. It's like 3 times as heavy.
Oh, Lord.
Oh.
13% less shielding against radiation.
Perfect.
The standard operating procedure with most free roaming vapors is to catch it in a confinement beam with your proton pack. You will generally need at least 2 Ghostbusters to wrangle it into a stream. This will capture the ghost and force it to expend its the energy that is tethering it to the material plane. Once you've tired it out, someone slides under the trap, stomps on the pedal, sucks the ghost into the trap.
All right.
The video
Addie
made
will
it sound
do.
like it was super easy and super textbook every time.
At this point, Addie knows it will not be that easy. It will not be that textbook. Looks past at the Christmas trees, possibly one sparking to flames. I'm not sure what's going over there. Just
one of them may have went through a window in one of the storefronts.
Yes.
and all that I'm seeing is just dollar signs of what's coming out of my paycheck as I'm looking at the damage we're incurring on this city. And all right, let's go. Well, then I will pull out my proton pack and aim and fire, and I will call over comms as I do. I hope somebody is around to help me catch this thing.
All right. Yep. You will roll your the proton pack will probably be a moves roll because it's essentially a ranged attack. So roll moves.
So I got an 8, but my starting move is called It's on My Resume. So you hear Addie start up the proton pack, and then it kind of like sputters out, and it's just kind of standing there for a second. It's just like, okay, when I worked at Dyson, they told me how to clear these things to make sure that the tube is fully straightened out to work out any kinks. I know this one's a little bit older, so I can cite previous work experience that may apply and re-roll any check failed by more than 5. So I will roll again, citing my experience at Dyson.
That's beautiful.
That is going to be a 17 that time.
17. Excellent. The rotundus is barreling down at you. It's already knocked 2 of these weird humans with boxes on their backs out of its way.
We're very top heavy, okay? These are really hard. They're very cumbersome.
It's not going to have a problem with a third, and as it does, it gets enwrapped in crimson bands of energy. I'm going to have you roll a what we're calling strength.
Muscles.
Muscles. Yeah, I'm going to have you roll a muscles.
Okay.
It's going to be easy because it's restrained, so that'll be 3 less than the target.
Okay. That's going to be a 13.
13. So you got it. It's pulling on you. You're pulling back. It's kind of like fishing in a way.
My
and if you want
favorite mechanic of any Final Fantasy game. So Addie is right at home. Fucking love fishing in a game.
So Mario, you hear Addie say, "I got it."
So you're talking to me, right? It's Marlo.
Yes.
Oh,
Marlo, sorry.
It happens all the time. No worries. So Penelope is a salesperson at heart. So while all this is going on,
So good.
she's got her comms off because she's trying to focus on talking to people who are visiting the town for the Christmas decorations and lights. And she's handing them business cards. And then, so she's got her little business card. You can give me a call. My name's Penelope Wilson. Your kids, they get into the Ouija board or whatever. We're here to help. We bust ghosts. Even if you think you got a ghost problem, we'll come out. We'll do a consultation for you. It's not free, but it's very reasonably priced. Anyway, and she flips it over. It's got a 20% off on the other side. 20% off. Use my name. Let them know I sent you. They'll get you a real good deal on it. Yeah. And she's like talking to people and handing out these cards and yucking it up with the old people and laughing and telling them about, oh yeah, I remember when Jimmy Carter, blah 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 blah. She's 33. She has no idea who Jimmy Carter even is, but she's going with it. And she sees that she's talking to this one old lady who's proceeding to tell her about her fifth cat named Jackson. And
After
she
the first
sees out of
4
the
riveting
yeah,
stories about cats.
she remembers she's going to remember for the rest of her life every name of every cat because she's a salesperson. At it. So if she ever meets that old lady again, she's going to remember. So she turns and she sees this flash out of the corner of her eye, and pardon me, ma'am. Got a little situation I got to take care of. I'll be right back. Hold that thought. I want to hear how Jackson regularly poops outside the litter box. That's really interesting. Oh God. She clicks her comms on and is hearing everybody yelling and screaming. Is like, uh-oh. And then just starts running across the road, pulls her wand out and just skirt like as she's running. I got you. I'm coming. Don't worry.
So if you're going to throw a confinement beam, it'll be because it's already been tagged. It'll be an easy roll. So you'll just need an 11. Gonna be muscles
Every dice.
or moves.
Oh, 15. And I don't.
All right, yeah.
16 with my +1.
All right. So you got the second confinement beam. I will have you roll the D8. Um, I should have had Addie roll that too. My apologies. So Addie, if you want to roll your D8.
That's a 4.
A 2 for me.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So you've got the confinement beam on this thing. It is struggling and scurrying. It's like you're being pulled towards it. You're reeling it back. You're being very careful not to cross the beams. That is the one thing in like 48-point black font on every manual you have is do not cross the streams.
Addie's got that written like next to the handle of the proton pack so
Yes.
that they don't forget.
Yes.
Yeah, so you can feel it weakening a little bit, but it's still got a lot of fight in it. Jan, as you come staggering out of the alleyway, just dripping in slime.
Y'all get it handled, or are you gonna need me to grab something? It's just everything slipping out of her hands. Oh,
No, Jan, if you could, if you can get in on this, as
all
I'm
right.
going back and forth with this
She's like
raccoon.
moving like more just like gunk off of her glasses. She's like, yeah, for a minute is like aiming at Addie a little too long that it's kind of concerning for a second, and then it's like, okay.
Like there's an
Well,
icy patch and
thanks.
Addie's like suddenly dragged like 4 feet across it.
Like, oh no, no, not that one. All right. And we'll attempt again.
You just needed 11.
5.
God.
I'm gonna go find a new D20.
That's
Hold
so
on.
good.
That's the only one I
That's
have
That one
on
didn't
my
fail.
So good.
Oh, how fitting! All of my dice are in my ghost mouth.
Oh.
Ooh.
Nice, nice.
Which one's it gonna be? Right, purple.
I do want to give the face a hero coin for that sales pitch too. So you'll have a re-roll at your disposal. So as Jan squares up to fire off the proton pack, like I said, there's icy patches on the street. Her sensible footwear, not super, not great traction.
No, yeah, they're
Comfortable,
definitely
yes.
meant for the inside part of the shoe, was the special part.
Yeah.
I didn't
As
think
she
that I would
slips,
need a grip.
they have crossing the street. They have these elaborate lines with large plastic illuminated holiday. There's a Frosty. There's a Santa. There's some reindeer. Every single one of them pops in a line. That's the proton one, just arcs right through
Oh man.
it.
How many
and Jan's
ghosts were there? I think I got them.
Sparks, you get up out of the tree station that you've caused,
Yes.
and you see
Station. Station.
you
Oh
see
my
Jan
God.
rolling around on her back
I-
like a turtle stuck
I
on a
got-
proton pack.
I got it. We first we just see like one of the trees rustle, right? And we hear Sparks say, I'm coming. And like the like we see all of the Christmas lights get pulled down off of their thing as they're like attached to him somehow. I'm coming. And he comes like running around the trees with his like wand in hand and like gets all wrapped up in the cord and like rolls through the snow. But from the ground fires at the thing because like he's not gonna not help.
All right.
Just all wrapped up in these Christmas lights.
Give me a
and
moves roll.
yeah, just barely there. All right, so moves. Oh, I got a 14 total. What is my
All right. Yeah, 14 was the normal DC, but because it's been wrangled, it's an easy roll, so it's only 11. So you
Yes.
got it. So
Love
roll
that.
your D8.
Okay? +1 on my proton pack because it's juiced for 2
Yeah.
points of damage.
All right.
Roll to 1.
Yeah. You do have your hero coin if you want to re-roll it, or you
I
can save
would.
it.
You know what? Let's do that. Let's re-roll this. Let's re-roll this. Let's spend
Just,
that.
re-roll your damage.
All right, that'd be a 5 total.
5. Yep. So yeah, it's the third confinement beam goes on it. It's fighting like the rabid animal that it was in life. It's now pulling 3 Ghostbusters, but you've got it triangulated. It's above you as you're pulling on it left and right. It's weakening. You can feel it weakening. Addie, I will have you roll. I'll have you roll muscles to maintain your grip on this thing.
It's going to be a 17, boss.
Oh yeah, you got it. You got it. You
Awesome.
pulled across the ice, but you found a nice dry patch of pavement and you planted your sensible work boots right into it.
Very sensible. I had to save up a lot to get them.
Yes.
Very, very worthwhile investment.
So roll me your effort for the proton pack.
That's a 6.
Oh, nice. That's yeah. Yeah, very close. It is flagging. It is flagging. Penelope, right?
Yep.
That's the face's name. Okay. Penelope, roll me a strength to keep a hold of this thing.
Ew. 11.
Yep. Yep. Because it's contained. Roll me your D8.
7.
Wow.
Yeah. You got it. It is settled down. You think it's ready for the trap. Jan.
Yeah.
Go
Jan,
for it, yeah,
throw that.
roll for it.
She's like, Jan, throw that trap. I got big boy on the ropes.
I'll have you roll a
Okay.
moves to toss the
Yeah.
trap into place.
Yeah, I can definitely do that. That's something that sounds like it's probably fully in her wheelhouse is an arthritic lady. All right. What are we doing moves? I put a 1 in dex. Nothing in tough, nothing in muscles. But we can move a little. There's lots of okay, this
Does she
new
do
die
that,
did
like,
me
that mall
slightly better.
walking in the morning? Like, just gets out
Yeah,
there?
she's also a part of all of the, like, clubs at the YMCA for, like, the pool Pilates and stuff.
Yes. Yes.
Silver sneakers.
She runs some of them. Yeah, she also does Zumba. She also runs that. That was a 16 on the new
All right.
die.
Yeah, you got it. Slipping and sliding as you get up, it's almost like you're curling. You slide the trap and it coasts.
She does a
into the
lot of
perfect-
shuffleboard.
Yes,
So-
yes.
On crew.
That's why you're on the team. It's because you were like the 3-time tri-state champion of shuffleboard or something
I went
like
to
that.
the Olympics for it, for curling, and she's lived a life.
A lot of disciplines in curling, all rolled into one weird little sport. Yeah, the trap's in perfect place. You stomp on it, the trap opens. You can roll me the
Oh, you
was it
can
a
roll
D10, I
something,
think,
that's
for the
right.
trap.
1.
Thankfully,
So good. It's so good.
thankfully, your teammates had taken a lot of the fight out of this thing, and the 1 was all you actually needed.
I knew I could do it.
As the cone of pure white light. The second thing that you know that was in very large bold letters is don't look in the trap.
I
As this
wouldn't be
cone
able to
of
see
white
even
light-
if I did.
Yeah, it reaches up and grabs a hold of Rotundus. Electrical arcs shoot out of it, and he gets sucked into this trap. The trap closes. Some steam and smoke rises out of it, and it just starts beeping.
As soon as it's trapped and it's like a little smoking beeping thing, she turns around and looks at the whole town. Who's like, I imagine everyone who's there is now seeing this spectacle. And she turns around and says, "That's how we do it. Call us. Who are you gonna call? Us, the Ghostbusters. You got a problem? We'll be here for you. My name is Penelope Wilson." She starts handing out business cards. Just barely re-racked her little wand, and she's handing out business cards.
Yes. There's like a subscription plan to get on the insurance coverage of Ghostbusting. You get a like reduced rate when they come out for a visit.
We'll come out quarterly and evaluate your situation. Make sure that we'll run some sage. Make sure you've got a little bit of, an evaluation of any dark corners, odd closets, attics, basements. We check it all. She's got a little spiel. She's going.
Yes. You think it's a squirrel in your attic? It's not. Call
It's
us.
not. It's probably not.
Well, it might have been once, but it's not anymore.
No. Same charge. Doesn't matter if it wasn't a ghost. They're still going to charge you. But don't worry about that. Just worry about we'll be there. Peace of mind. That's what you need. Can't buy that. Yeah, you can't put a price on that.
It's so good. Yeah, we see Sparks like he's just covered in snow, right? Like just like head to toe covered in snow. He like gets up, is like dusting himself off and trying to like get disentangled from this like these like Christmas lights and like apologizing profusely to the shopkeeper. And Sparks is busy getting unfucked by their situation.
Jan's just kind of standing there, just like doesn't want any part of her body touching itself. It's like, I think I'd like to go home and take a shower if that's all right. This is a
There's
lot
a
of refuge.
there's a like you know how like the ice cream trucks would have like the little tray sometimes.
Oh,
Maybe on the
yeah.
little tray we have like just like almost like bungee corded down like a packet of like baby wipes, you know? Like wet wipes are just there and it's like enough
I
to
think
get your
his
hands
job's a little
clean.
bigger for the wet wipes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get your face cleared up.
Sam's Club cannot keep wet wipes in stock near your franchise.
Yeah, no. Not at all. It's
So
like
as
it's like not even the good ones, not even the Lysol ones. It's like the off-brand. It's just
Store brand.
water in there. There's no like disinfectant at all.
So as you pile in the back of Ecto 315, who's driving this rig?
He don't have a license anymore.
For me after the incident.
Addie will drive. Addie is behind the wheel.
You hop in, you know the trick. You can't just start it. You got to feather the gas pedal twice, counterclockwise on the key, forward on the key, then jam the gas, and it gets started.
Whole time, Addie's like come up with a little song, like, "Yep, do that twice, and then you got to turn that here." I'm like trying to keep myself in good spirits.
Some people call it just a lack of maintenance, but it's a security measure. Ain't nobody stealing.
No one is
Ecto
stealing this from us.
The rest of you like secure your packs in the rack. Jan is taking the parents' bath in the back. As you slowly drive your way back south to the field office, because you're in the snow belt and suddenly out of nowhere, it's 4 feet an hour. So you just take your time, your little ghost bobbling back and forth on top of your van.
There is a Santa Claus hat attached to it. How Jan got up there and did it, y'all don't know, but she did do it.
How it's fastened and remains fastened is a mystery.
Addie had tried to stay up overnight to like keep an eye out to see how Jan was going to get up there, and Jan had brought like cookies and tea or something, and Addie just passed the fuck out. Was not able to stay awake.
It's so good. It's like every year it's a mystery. It's like, what is she going to do, and how did she do it? Like every year there's some new crazy decoration that's not supposed to be where it is.
Look, nothing stops me from celebrating Christmas. All right, not even my own bones.
Yeah, it takes you a little while. You get back to the field office. I want to say it's 11:30 at night, December 23rd. You have a few more hours before you're officially allowed to check out. Again, you managed to keep your schedule clear for the rest of the holidays, or so you thought. The face would be probably ostensibly in charge of communicating with the head office. So, what happens when you guys roll into your repurposed meat packing plant?
I think Penelope is very quick to get out and just like she has a bad habit of immediately I got to go report in and not helping them clean up. Like it's just a thing that she does, and it's like everyone knows she's gonna do it by this point. I feel like it's one of those things like you have a coworker that does this sort of stuff, you almost expect it at this point.
Yeah.
So she hops out and bolts inside and hops out, unlocks, I guess I imagine we pull into some sort of garage or right.
Yeah, yeah. You have it was in the old days. It was a loading dock for bringing in the freezer trucks to haul the meat out in
Mhm.
the heyday of the 1920s and 30s. But now you've made a makeshift ramp and you just you just pull the old ice cream truck right on up in there.
All right, I'll get the reporting done so we don't have to worry about it later on. And she like bolts out, runs inside to the office and goes into like the main office area, whips up the phone, starts pulling out the work orders and looking them over and dials. She's like waiting.
Did you call an actual number or is this part of
Yeah,
your
yeah,
ploy?
yeah, yeah. She's got the corporate line like down. Like
Yeah.
this is like her world. Like
Yeah.
she's got it.
I love that our phone system doesn't even know how to save numbers. You have to know them and you just hotkey it real fast. Like you know
Yeah.
your numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine like the it's all worn off. It's like the old like they used to be like white.
Absolutely. There's no paint on those numbers at all. Just
Yeah.
blank keys.
And it's like
The
yellow. You
little
know how like
intercom numbers have been handwritten over so many times they're illegible.
yeah, like an old Super Nintendo, it's just like old and yellow. Like it's
Yeah.
yellow. So it's like
Yeah. Someone picks up on the other end. Central office.
hey there, just reporting in that we got the job done over in Pulaski? She says Pulaski because she's not. Well, no, she's from here. She's Pulaski. She's gonna say it right. She's from here, so we're gonna characterize it. Well, I just got the job done in Pulaski. Pulaski, it may say
Yeah.
on the paper.
1 second, you hear fingers clacking on keyboards. Oh yeah, you're 315. Okay, we got another one for you tomorrow. Just came in.
Tomorrow's Christmas Eve though. Like
Yeah, yeah, that is true. But you are about 30K behind your minimum projected for the year, and
I've been
we're gonna be
working on it.
closing
All
some
right.
offices.
I've been working on it. All right. It's a dead zone out here. There's not a whole lot of people, and even if they do, like, I mean, we have so much cheese, man. I couldn't shit for weeks with how much cheese they paid us in. Okay. Cheese doesn't pay the bills, man. I can't even.
Oh,
I
guys, the
tried to send
dairy
it.
down the road brought us a Christmas gift. More cheese
Oh
and some
God!
eggnog.
You unclogged the toilet from last time. Jesus. Look, I'm trying. Okay, I tried to convince the accounting office that it was $20,000 worth of cheese because it really is. I mean, this is just you can't beat this. th- This is upstate New York cheese. Okay, like if I sold this, I could sell this to rich people for like $10,000 a wheel, man. Like this is good shit. Like, come on, man.
Well, I
She's
mean, how about you do that and make up your shortfall? But for now, we're getting a premium rate for Christmas Eve, and you're on it. So, you guys want a job next week? You'll be on this job tomorrow.
Anne is gonna be mad. Okay, fine. All right, I'll let him know. Thank you so much. You really appreciate it. Bye bye now.
He doesn't even say goodbye; he just hangs up.
I love how you
Like
snuck in a
hangs up.
little like you will appreciate it. That is good. I like that. A little solid corporate snark.
Yeah. It's almost as good as per my last email. She hangs up.
Yeah.
She like here's the click, and then she goes like, slam, slam, slam. Puts it back down, and then paints her normal face back on. Good news, everyone. She turns around. We got a job. Another job. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
Yeah.
Christmas Eve.
Oh,
Oh,
Well,
oh,
I put in to have tomorrow off, actually.
Uh, I know I'm not the boss here or anything. But the head office said that we have to do it because we're $1,000 short this year. So
30,000. That
yeah.
is
oh,
more money than I'm
darn.
gonna see in my lifetime.
We all have to be together on Christmas Eve. Shucks.
Well, as long as we can wrap everything up by about 8, that's when my oldest is gonna get in with the grandkids and such. So we wanted to, you know, do the stockings and stuff. Y'all can come on over. I got a lot of food. Granted, it is a lot of cheese, and I know how you feel about that there.
Yeah.
You made too many friends this year, you know.
Got mac
Uh,
and cheese, we got fried cheese, we got grilled cheese.
Oh.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fondue of sorts, except most things you dip in the fondue are also different types of cheeses.
I was planning on spending it with my dad, but thank you for the invitation.
Wiki. Hey, but what time? What's her gig?
I'm waiting on the details. I'll see what we get in. And she
Yeah.
clicks on this old computer. I imagine they said they get work orders is through these old stinky computers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
There's a proprietary app that only runs on Windows 98.
Perfect.
Yeah, and the job details come in. You're not even supposed to be there until 9 p.m.
Oh, well, hold on. If this
Oh.
is on Windows 98, who of us has the high score on what is it? What it wouldn't like solitaire,
In,
right?
Windows
Minesweeper.
98 Solitaire?
Yeah.
Who the fuck do you think?
It's got to go back and forth. Who's your main competition on the one game that's on the Windows computer? I see some Minesweeper love in the chat.
Oh,
Yeah.
Minesweeper.
I was a fan.
I never had any idea how to play that. I figured out recently, and it's actually pretty fun if you're a puzzles
great.
person.
It's like wow.
There are
good.
ways. There are rules to the game, Minesweeper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
like I quite
Intrigued.
literally sometimes in streams when I'm having trouble focusing, I will pull up because you can just in the Google window like do Minesweeper, and I'll do it on the side just so a part
Yes.
of my brain is going.
Ignore
Yes.
my eyes tracking to the right as I
Yes,
look up, so I
yes.
can remember to play Minesweeper later.
That game
Minesweeper's
always
so
made
good.
me irrationally angry.
Yeah.
I'm-
I think maybe this is like a way for like Sparks tries really hard at Minesweeper, but always gets fouled up by the 50-50 splits. You know, like never guesses right on the 50-50s and just like never has like beaten anybody at Minesweeper. Tries real hard.
The newest piece of equipment your office has received from the home office is a fancy whiteboard on wheels that you can roll around, and it's just tracking your different scores on solitaire and Minesweeper.
Perfect.
That's so good.
All right, so who's in charge of disposing of Rotundus?
Oh, I think that would probably fall to Sparks. So yeah, I'll pull the trap out of the like ice cream freezer that we never took out of the truck, right?
Yeah.
We've super put like caution tape all around it, so it's not like no kid's just gonna go in there thinking they're ice cream because there's caution tape all over this thing. You know, they know.
Handwritten with a Sharpie, no ice cream.
That's right. That's right. That is correct. And so I pull it out of the the little like deep freeze thing that's in there, and go over to the like ghost vault that's in this meat packing plant. It's got to be in like probably in the freezer area, right? Because I mean they need like a big space if I remember correct for the vault thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and does anybody go with Sparks to do this?
Oh no, I'm going to the shower.
Yeah.
I will go with Sparks to help out.
Awesome. Oh, thank you so much.
And Jan, the shower is the place where they used to just hose down like the blood and stuff. So it's just this big cavernous open room, and you just got like a curtain drawn
Oh,
across.
she's
the
made it
corner.
very cute, you know, like she's brought in all sorts of like cute towels, little potpourri bowls, the
Could there
like
be like a SpongeBob
incense.
shower curtain?
Yeah,
or
your little
something like
shower
that?
curtain. Yeah, a little SpongeBob shower curtain. Has like a nice little seat in there.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's so
And
good.
Sparks, as you're carrying the trap, like every so often, like your hand kicks out as it wiggles, kind of like Chevy Chase in Christmas Vacation with the cat in the box.
Oh God.
Well, Rotunda still has a little bit of spunk left to him.
Yeah. I'll say for being a fat raccoon, he sure got a lot of pep.
He He definitely was moving faster than I expected. And Addie is like holding their back as he's walking, trying to just like keep
Oh,
pace. Like Addie looks particularly winded. Okay.
yeah,
Addie is not physically fit for this job, but
It's like the
does it
oldest 20-year-old
anyway.
in the world.
Truly.
Yeah. So when we get over to the vault, I think Sparks is going to say, "A- "Addie, are you okay? Or you're looking a little worse for wear there."
Yeah, no. I am spry as any whippersnapper. No, I want to go to sleep. I want to go to sleep, Sparks, and I don't want to come into work tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed about that. I didn't have any Christmas plans. I wanted to sit in front of my TV and sleep, and then maybe go lay down in my bed and sleep some more.
Sure.
Um,
Yeah.
but
Alone on Christmas. That was your plan.
yeah, kind of my preferred method, honestly. My family's a
Well,
little intense, so I
oh,
try not to spend the holidays with them if I can avoid it.
okay.
But
Well, now you have a good excuse, and I think we can fix the rabbit ears on the TV so you can at least get um, ABC or something.
I mean, arguably everybody here is far better company than my family, so
Oh,
I
well,
will.
that's really nice of you to say. Thank you.
Yeah.
Um, I was going to suggest, if your back is giving you some troubles, we do have those thermal blankets used to like warm up all the equipment, but you could use one of those on your back, and that would probably make you feel a little bit better.
That I know a lot of our equipment is like a little sketch. Is that safe to put on my body like that? My health insurance is. I'm never going to reach my deductible in the next 6 or 7 days, but the premium and the copay. Like,
Sorry. That's good. Um, yeah, well, okay. That's a really good point. Maybe put a blanket between you and it.
okay.
That way you don't get burned.
Okay. Cool. I appreciate that,
Yeah,
Sparks. Thank you.
of course. And if if you need anything at all, Penelope is really helpful.
You are too, but yeah. I'll check in with Penelope. But you're pretty helpful too, Sparks. Thanks.
All right.
Appreciate it.
I'll see you. I'll see you tomorrow. He
Yeah,
like
sounds good. Have a good
pulls the
night.
giant lever or whatever that shunts the ghost into the vault. Right.
Light is green, the trap is clean.
There it is.
uh, does anyone else want to have a moment before we come to the next night?
Yeah, I think Penelope is gonna try to tell Jan that they gotta be there at 9. Uh,
I'm not the boss, but
like,
I
she's just gonna
am.
text the other 2 and be like,
Yeah. Same time as usual. Kinda
yeah,
deal.
same time as usual. But to Jan, she's just like, Jan's older. You know how like at work there's certain people you can just send a like Teams message to or like, whatever, and it's just like it's cool. And whatever you gotta say, that's the easiest way to no, Jan's the type you gotta really just come in and just talk to her. Cause a text message, can she read it? I don't know. Does she know how, I mean, maybe she can read it. She gets one
I
from, I
mean,
mean, sure she
Siri reads it to me sometimes, but I can't quite understand her voice.
fair. So she so the way the showers are set up, I imagine she's like kind of waiting outside. She doesn't want to go in. She just want to, invade her privacy. She don't want to see something that, might scar her for the rest of her life. 'Cause she really looks at Jan as
Mhm,
kind of like a maternal figure in a
mhm.
way, so she's just like, waiting outside, just kind of cracking her knuckles and fiddling with her hands because this is not a conversation that she wants to have. She knows how important Christmas is to her. She's like trying to come up with a
Yeah.
solution or a way she can make it up to her or something, even though it's not her fault. She's still trying to figure this out.
While you're standing out there too, like through the door, you just hear like the most off-pitch singing of Christmas carols the entire time.
That's so good.
Dashing through the snow, one horse open sleigh. Mm, turns off the water. I'll come out all bundled up in street clothes. A
Sort of fake some
garbage
of the
bag with
lyrics
the
every now
stuff.
and
Yeah.
then.
Yeah. Dancer and Jeremy.
Jeremy.
Yeah, that
She
sounds
just
great.
starts singing like names of exes.
Yeah. It's like when your mom tries to call your name, it goes through every single cousin, pet, and sibling.
Oh my god, it's so true.
Thanks, Mom. I feel seen.
You know what's weird is I hated that, and then now I have 2 kids, and I do it, and I'm like, oh my
Oh,
god,
yeah.
I am my own. I hate everything about
Start
me right now.
I look
start,
at
start cycling through the Rolodex.
I hate it.
Yeah, I think she's standing there and kind of like straightens up when she hears her walking close. As she comes out, she's like, "Hey, Jan,
Oh, hey.
I got some rather sour news. They want us there at 9 tomorrow."
Well, I do have a breakfast date, but I guess I can push that back to a dinner date. So
No, you might want to keep it breakfast because it's a dinner time frame. It's 9 p.m.
and we
Understood.
have to be here at 9
I think we have to be there at 9.
there.
Yeah, the message was very clear about be there at 9.
Well, like, does this ghost only show up at like 9 p.m. on Christmas Eve or something? What's our reason in here?
I don't know the details. I really they were very clear though.
You know the holiday rate's about 100K.
Wow.
It's gonna get us over our numbers, and that's really what's important because Jan, I'm afraid if we don't make it, they're gonna shut us down. And I really don't think the New York City office wants to do all the traveling, but they definitely will.
All right, when you put it like that, I don't want you youngins out of a job. All right, fine. Well, I'll pack up some dinners for us. How about that? Maybe some cookies. I'd have to leave by at least 8:30, but then it's gonna be icy, so maybe 8:50. I might not have time to make cookies with the grandkid before, so we won't bring those, but
Yeah.
fondue's ready to go.
I really appreciate it. Now I broke the news to you. I gotta break it to my dad too. That'll be great.
Oh,
Mhm.
well, good luck.
Thanks. See you tomorrow.
All right. Drive safe.
As we fade out, I'm going to give Addie a hero coin for the bad back. I'm going to give to Jen a hero coin for the packing snacks.
have so many
Yeah, hero coins around for the blanket suggestion and also
Oh.
for dealing with corporate.
Thank you.
That's good.
The true villain.
The true villain in all
Yeah.
NPC games.
Damn, middle
Capitalism.
management.
Jeez.
You want to get that email saying there's layoffs.
Do we also heal our hit points when we rest
Yeah,
and all that kind of stuff? Okay.
Yep, you just a good night's sleep is going to be more
That
than enough to
shower
get back
really
anything you lost.
invigorated me.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah. With this hack, it's not like you're taking damage. It's like, oh, I smashed my
You're getting
elbow,
tired.
or, I'm just
Yeah, a little
exhausted. Yeah.
stressed. Yeah.
It's like I had to actually call someone on the phone today, and I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
That's good. I couldn't just send a text. Really? Come on. I gotta talk to you.
So you guys meet back up at the office around DeWitt with traffic. It's going to take at least 45 minutes to get out there, even this time of night on a Christmas Eve. So,
Can I have broken into my mother's my family home during the day?
yes.
I don't
Yeah.
want to get caught. You can make me roll for it if you want to, but it's a really wholesome thing, so don't make me roll for it because if it fails, I'm going to be really sad. We're all going to lose.
All right.
I would like to break into my family home because I don't celebrate Christmas, but I know that it's important to Jan, and I'm going to steal some holiday sweaters from our stash at home to bring into the office so that we're all dressed in holiday sweaters since we're celebrating Christmas Eve with Jan when she can't be with her family. And I make it a point to save the comfiest and warmest one for Penelope because I also know Penelope is disappointed to not be with their dad. So you can make me roll for it if you want, but if it doesn't work out, I'm gonna cry. Just
I will not
letting
make you roll
everyone
for it.
know.
I will actually, in fact, I'll give you another hero coin for that.
So good. I had an idea for before we actually got together as well. I'd like Sparks to come in a little early and fashion some way to get the like break room television into the ice cream truck and hooked up so that it would work while we're like out on our gig, and like maybe puts like a one of the softer like roll around office chairs in the back with like some bungee cords, tying it down. Super sketch, but it's what
Sure. Oh yeah.
what you got.
You've got your own little lab there. You have to do a lot of like experiments on field samples and things like that.
Sure.
It's not always as straightforward as it goes. There's some weird shit out there you've had to deal with. So I will say you've got the TV suspended on bungee cords, so that it's not actually touching anything and it just sort of bobbles around as the car moves.
Yes.
And you've taken the wheels off the office chair and you've replaced it with neodymium magnets. So it just clunks down to the bottom of this 1957 ice cream truck.
Thank you. That's what I needed. I needed that like over the top science answer to this like basic problem. Thank you. That is exactly. It's not bungee cords, neodymium magnets.
Yeah.
That chair is now affixed to that vehicle for the rest of both of their days. There's
Yeah.
no
You'll-
like.
You'll
moving
need a
either of
crowbar to
them.
pry it off the bottom of that. But
Yeah.
and
That's
you rigged up something out of like old soup and tuna cans to actually get like a Wi-Fi signal.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we had to take apart the condenser for the freezer unit, but it's working.
Yeah. You won't need that freezer unit until the summertime anyway.
Plenty of time to put it back. Okay, thank you.
It never gets put back.
No, of course not.
Never gets put back.
That's worth another hero coin too, I think.
Oh wow.
You guys get there. I'm sure you're not happy about it, even if you had no particular plans. But you line up, you go through your equipment check, everything's there. You've got your proton packs. Everyone who has a trap has a trap. Any other equipment you took, PKE meters, check, 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 check across the board. A basic equipment check. One of the proton packs threw a yellow light, but Sparks like flicked it 2 times and it went to green. So I guess it's fine.
Was that somebody's specifically assigned proton pack, or do we all just like scramble them up every time so that you never know who's going to get the one that might butts out?
There is one that always futzes, and we don't
Yeah.
know who's gonna get it.
We
I love that.
rotate it.
I want to say, it's up to you guys, but I want to say that possibly one of you has one that you've put a mark on.
Oh yeah,
And you race for that one first.
that's good.
For sure.
I just take whatever's left and I'm just like, you wouldn't give the old lady one that's gonna hurt me, would you? I just guilt everybody a bit.
Yeah.
She's only like 56. She just really puts on the like I'm old charm, even though she's not yet.
Yeah.
And you're like, I mean, Spark is like, I mean, it should be fine. We're not gonna have to replace these power packs for another 1,000 years.
The beauty of nuclear batteries. They just last forever. Yeah, I'd like for Sparks to have the Aura video analyzer because that is a brains thing, and that sounds cool.
Okay, yeah, take it.
All right, cool. I don't know what it does. I'm gonna have to read the thing.
You're like, yeah, there's a brief that's a brief description of what it does. You can read it while we go on. I think if I'm running from everybody, I think it works like that thing when they put the colander on his head in the original Ghostbusters.
Oh, Oh, it's
and they
like a
got the picture.
detector or something like that. Like it helps
Yeah,
them.
yeah, it works with
Cool.
your PKE meter, I think.
That's awesome. Okay, love that. Love that.
Yeah, you file in the van. Uh, Addie's driving per usual.
I'm wearing a sweater that is probably too snug because I accidentally stole it from the wrong closet, but it made sure that everybody else has one that actually fits.
Yeah.
And I
Not only
am,
that, but it's over a shirt and coveralls, and
yep,
so
Yeah,
but it's got to be on the outside so you can see the Christmas
yeah.
cheer.
yeah.
The Christmas tree
That was
presents.
important.
You
This is
put you get in the truck, you put on your bubblegum lights. You keep the siren down a little low. You don't want any noise complaints on Christmas Eve. And you roll up into DeWitt. You roll by some pretty nice houses. Penelope, you spent time in the big city. This is Syracuse rich. It's not like Greenwich, Connecticut rich. you know,
Yeah.
there's a scale.
Yeah.
And yeah, you roll in there, and the GPS takes you like down the wrong road like 3 times because anyone's been to Syracuse, New York, it is a logistical nightmare as far as the street layouts go.
right on.
But you finally find your way. You have to weave in across like 3. You have to go the wrong way on a one-way street at one point, up over a curb through someone's yard, and then you park up in front of this mansion on a hill. It was probably a nice mansion in like 1895 when it was built, but it's definitely not been upkept very well, at least not in the last 30 years or so. Um, it's solemn on top of the hill. There's maybe 2 lights on in the whole place that you can see. Uh, the snow is beginning to fall fairly heavily, not a whiteout by any stretch of the imagination, but you walk your way up to the steps. Is the face taking the lead?
Yeah, I guess so, because she's making the assumption that, like, we're gonna meet with the client first thing, and, like, this is gonna be bang up normal job,
Yep.
meet with them, offer them a deal on their next busting, remind them that coming again has nothing to do if you get haunted again, we're gonna clear up this situation, but another situation. She's getting her whole, like, she puts her pack on, but she's, like, getting her whole, "All right, let's
Wi-
do this thing."
While she's walking up, Sparks is at the back of the ice cream truck. And you know that sticker that's like, "How's my driving?" And there's like a number call with like a code for the truck, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sparks is back there with like a Sharpie, like just very gently changing one of the numbers to another number. So if we get called in, like it goes to somebody else somewhere else.
There's some reckless driving, sir. This is a Wendy's.
Yes. Exactly. Exactly. You get it.
That's freaking awesome. You push the doorbell, doesn't seem to work. Push it again, doesn't seem to work. Knock, knock, knock. And on the other side, you hear some shuffling and rustling, and you hear at least three chains and 4 deadbolts being undone. And the door opens, and you see this uh, ostensibly frail man, sort of bent over, very haggard, jagged features. You know how as people get older, you can tell whether or not they were a good person because the wrinkles in their face set in a certain way. This man
Yep.
has not smiled in 50 years.
Oh, what was the
And
name? What was the name on the work order for this guy?
the name is Ernest Funk.
It's got those scowl lines of just being
Yeah,
angry at people.
yeah, like
Mr.
sunken
Funk.
cheeks.
Yeah, she smiles her biggest, most salesperson smile. Mr. Funk, we're here to take care of your little problem.
And his eyes flick down to the Christmas sweater, and he's back up, and like, his scowl intensifies. He goes, "Come inside. I paid the premium rate." He walks in, and he sort of shuffles along.
Yes, sir. Well, we will get your problem taken care of. Lickety split. No. So what are you experiencing?
My dead partner came to me last night, said I would be visited by ghosts tonight.
Head partner, like business partner.
Yes.
Sorry, this day and age, you really never know, right? She's trying to connect with this old guy by being slightly, maybe a little bit like,
You get the impression he's never had one of those kind of partners.
gotcha.
Adding
Okay.
Vince's in the background, just like, oh, okay. You just gotta do Penelope.
So, okay, so, like a forewarning, is he still here? Did he come and go?
He came last night into my chambers, produced his warning, and then left. Said 3 ghosts would come tonight.
Three ghosts. Huh. Um, you know, our rates really are for one ghost. Uh, so that is one thing we will have to as we move forward. We can give you a discount, but we do really just bust one ghost at a time. So are they going to come at the same time or separately? Did he say?
I was given to understand one at a time, and the rate was sorted by the corporate office.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, great, perfect. Love to hear that. I love it when they bill you right. You know, I hate it really when they don't, and then I got to deal with the bad news. Right? Am I right, Mr. Funk? uh, separately, that's great. I always hate a group bust. That's a little harder. So we can run with this. All right. Three separate
We're
and
oh, there's a issue here. We're gonna need a bigger trap. Maybe who is it that threw the trap during the first bust? Okay, cool.
Yes, Jan.
Maybe Jan, could you come out to the truck with me so we could get ready to catch 3 ghosts?
Oh, that's quite illustrious. Let's do it.
Okay. All right.
There's like
I'm
powdered
sorry. I
sugar
did not
all
mean to
over her
interrupt you. I
sweater
just,
too.
thinking about the future, past, and present us that we're gonna have to deal with here in a second.
Always looking ahead and learning from your mistakes. That's what I like about
Always planning.
you.
alrighty then. Well, that sounds great, Mr. Funk. We'll take care of it for you. And you won't have to worry about this. No big deal. 3 ghosts, that's easy. And as she turns away from him, and I imagine the other 2 have already left. So as she turns around to Addie and like this is like
It's cool. We're good. We're good. You got this.
Wait, are you afraid of ghosts?
no, it's just like a fucking raccoon gave us fits yesterday. How are we gonna bust 3 in one night?
It'll be a Christmas miracle.
I did some practicing yesterday. You know, that like video game that they gave us to practice our moves. VR. I only got through a couple of rounds before it got pretty dizzy.
The Oculus, like she smashed everything in the room, just flailing around.
You know, it's not an
Yeah,
Oculus. It's
yeah.
probably one of those like old, like ones you put your phone in, like a cardboard one. You put
Yeah.
your phone in.
Yes. And then
Or
they
the
like just
virtual
send you
boy.
like a lead pipe. Like just carry the lead pipe,
Yeah.
as if it's the wand or whatever. So
The
you
more that she talks about this, she'll realize she wasn't doing the training. She was just playing Grand Theft Auto, like something fully different.
just Beat Saber,
Yeah.
Yeah. There wasn't music last night. That was the problem. You're supposed to do it to the beat.
That's so good.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, if you want to roll me brains check, you took Jan with you to help. So that'll be an easy roll. I'll set the DC. I'll set the DC at 14 for that.
My plan here is to take the freezer and like put the trap in it somehow and use the freezer, like somehow incorporate the trap's mechanics and effects into the volume of the freezer or something like that so that we have like more space for more ghosts is kind of what I'm thinking. But maybe that's not like appropriate at all. Maybe I would just have to like tweak the trap in some way to make it fit
Yeah, I'm
free
gonna
ghosts.
say, roll the brains, and we'll see. Let the dice decide how it works.
I'm gonna use that hero point because I just
Okay.
rolled a 3 on the dice.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, that's better. That is a 12 plus brains of 2.
All right.
14, baby.
Yeah. So with Jan's help, you kind of look at it. You have a spare proton pack. Doesn't like work. It's like you have it for spare parts.
Perfect.
Occasionally, you need to pop a power coupler off of one and swap it out. You're able to strip it down, make a containment field inside the freezer. You do have to run like cable from the back of the van up to the house and actually have a regular trap on the other end of it.
Yeah.
Theoretically, it's going to shunt that goes from the trap portal to to the Ecto 315.
Yes.
Oh, this okay. That is the like the right kind of annoying. It's gonna be like this big fat like cable, you know.
Yeah,
Really.
yeah, it's got like sub cable wrapped around it.
Oh yeah. Oh, I love that. It's like when the fire department comes into your house. Like, stuff's gonna get broken. Like, there's no way all this furniture is gonna make it. So good.
Yeah, and during this time, um, Penelope has had him sign waivers. Like she's making sure every waiver is signed and dated properly because she's afraid she knows that they're gonna bust some shit up. Uh, and
Gonna have
w-
I and
You get the
once
feeling this
every
guy would be very particular about itemizing that off of what he owes.
Yeah.
yeah, he's like, this is just a little fine print, a little bit of here and there, a little bit of sign and date, no big deal. Just corporate office, you know, bureaucrats, right? Thank you.
roll, roll me a cool. Again, the 14 will be the DC.
Let's see, that's 12. Oh,
You roll me now 12. Like he's skeptical. He looks at the paper. He's not signing it. He is reading through every line of it. Crosses this one off. Crosses that one off.
uh, and as any salesperson who literally just like is trying to make a sale, she is panicking because she has
Yes.
no idea what's okay for him to not agree to, and she is not a compliance officer. She is not someone who has any idea about contracting. She's just here to get him to sign. She's like, well, I may have to call. I don't know if we can disinclude that piece. And but damage clause. Really have to have the oh.
you're able to, you're able to iron out something where there is a level up to a point where
Gotcha.
he won't. But anything over that, you're on the hook for.
Oh, good.
With signed papers in hand, she's gonna go out and like pull Addie with her. Hopefully, Addie comes and say to everybody, "This guy is serious. We have 3 ghosts to bust, and we only have $30,000 worth of damage we can do." That's just me throwing a number out there. Feel free to correct me. So we gotta
It's
be on
about
our
that.
A game. We gotta be on our A game, guys. Uh, I'm a little bit nervous.
Okay. Idea. Idea. He's got 3 ghosts come and visit him, right?
Mhm.
Maybe he brings them outside. And then, we're not next to his I don't know what he has in there that he cares about, books or VHS collections, whatever it is.
Could could we just preemptively put him in the trap,
And then they have to go get him.
and then they have to go get him, and then they're
Sparks,
just
you're
right there.
fairly certain that would rip the soul right out of his body.
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool. Then what I'll say is like, well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. They've done extensive testing, Addie, on this idea of, you know, having people in the traps, especially like targets of hauntings. Um, Unfortunately, the body stays, but the spirit is is imprisoned. Um,
Okay, you guys didn't hear me say that, but I don't think he would be losing much. He seems he he doesn't seem very
They got a
spirited.
point.
Not first choice, not the first choice plan, but
yeah,
just,
that's
if they
No,
start
I've
to
read
cause a
too.
lot of problems, we can just
Yeah, I've read too about these types of hauntings in the past, and yeah, if you're just a rotten, dirty old person, then well, someone's gonna come and show you what's what, which I imagine is probably what's happening here. So, we could also just well, no, we wouldn't get paid. He does
because we need
deserve
him
it,
to
though.
sign that we did it right
Yeah.
at the end.
I can forge a signature.
Yeah,
Is there a
services rendered.
timeline on it? Can we make them like kind of show them how big of a piece of shit he is, and then we trap the ghost at the end?
We're under
Like
the
as they
assumption.
sneak out of his bedroom, we just grab him.
How many ghosts have we actually encountered that were like cognizant enough to like do even show someone? They're like, I mean, is that I've never seen. I mean,
I mean,
poltergeists. Your basic hauntings. I mean, we've run
it's
into a
not
ton.
very common, but I mean, it's about in the books. I mean, have y'all read any of those books we've got in there?
Do I,
I,
do I
I've
look
read
like I
I've read some
read?
books. Yeah.
No.
Oh, I thought it was
Get
required reading.
get along here with just these looks and this like mouth of mine. That's all I do. I don't read.
No, I remember that.
I think Jen, you've got a really good idea. What we could maybe let the first ghost have a discuss if it can talk and let it talk, and then we just are quiet and sneaky. And then when they're done with their conversation, we trap it. If it's not here to talk, if it's here to do like what our friend last night did, then we just spring into action and do what we need to do, and he'll probably really be appreciative and not notice the $29,900 for the damage we're gonna do.
It's fine.
Yeah.
'Cause we will hit
Yeah.
that cat.
Use him as bait.
I mean, he is the target, so I mean, he has to be on site, otherwise they're not going to show up.
Mm, I
Or
mean,
worse,
that works for me.
they'll go to him wherever he's at and not near us, right? So,
Yeah, this sounds like a good plan.
okay. Um,
So
Now,
wait,
let's hope they're
does this
not
mean we're just
omnipotent on top of having these like future past present powers or
yeah, that would be really bad for all of us.
Yeah.
Spark, which Jan, were you the occult expert?
yes.
Okay, I'll have you roll me brains or one of the intelligence stats, whichever one's better for you.
Beautiful. I put them both at the same.
Yes.
So let's go. Let's go. Brains here, baby. 22, 21. I can in math.
Oh yeah, you yeah, you nailed it. You've read Tobin's Spirit Guide front, back,
Yes.
center out a couple of times. Um you feel like what you're dealing with is probably not a ghost per se. Spectral, certainly. Ethereal, yes. Probably something more akin to a demiurge or genius loci. Um, it's probably not omnipotent or omniscient. It's probably pretty powerful within its particular sphere, but probably not too aware of anything outside of it. Um, so you feel like it probably is going to be focused on what it's come to do.
She says all of that, but in this voice.
Oh yeah, it's a genius loci.
It's so good.
Great.
Absolutely.
Don't you know?
Don't you know?
Okay. Well, then maybe what we could do is place the trap already under a rug or something, and we all are hidden very nearby. If it's not going to be focused on other things, you know, it could just kind of walk right into our little trap, and then we jump out and get it.
Are we gonna lay a rug on top of our ice box? Our very
Oh.
large.
It's even better than that. It's even better than that, Adeline. It's the normal trap, and then I've got this big cable that goes out to the ice
350
box. So
Like
we
it.
just need the little one. But then you're right. We do need this cable only goes so far. So I hope it's not up on the 3rd floor of his house. I hope it's on like the 1st or 2nd, because I don't know if we have enough cable to get all the way up there. But somewhere.
And if we're already expecting at least 30K worth of damages, we could just pull up a few floorboards and get it down there real nice and tight.
Bingo.
So then you just walk over the carpet and whoop, he gets got.
I could probably do that.
And if it's under a hefty enough rug, he might not ever notice that we did it. So we don't even gotta put it on the report.
Yeah, just push the boards back down. This place is basically falling apart already.
This is the best idea we've ever had. This is great.
Indeed.
Yeah. Usually you guys don't get to plan. You show up and the shit's already hitting the fan, right?
This is great. I also had quite a bit of eggnog on the drive over here, and I think the whiskey's really helping my brain work.
I didn't hear that. We're not
About the
operating
boss.
nuclear reactors on our backs while we're high on whiskey. Did you bring any more though?
They're just batteries. They
There
don't
is a lot in the
react. Ugh.
fridge. Oh, I should probably move this for the ghost getting there. Walks back to the car
On
real
a side note, recreational marijuana is legal in New York State.
quick. Love it. Well, I didn't see what was in the cookies. Those are for after.
And what's the cost of living?
Yes.
Too high.
Yes, indeed.
Mostly emotionally, but that aside, is that are you going with the floorboard plan?
I think so. Yeah.
It works for me.
So are you running this past Mr. Funk?
No.
I think
Doing our job.
I think it's Penelope distracts him while Adelaide and Sparks like do the thing with the floorboards.
As Penelope's weaving their web of words, every so often you hear like a nail being wrenched out of something. Something
I bet you that was cost
Oh,
really
I'm
loud.
so sorry. Oh, I
Mr.
had a
Funk
lot of
starts to
powdered
look back
sugar.
and like break no back eyes on me.
And then
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, time of year just gets my lungs a little goofy.
She's like telling stories about sales. She's like big high dollar sales she's made. And like this guy, she's got a good eye for people. Like, because in sales you have to, right? So
Yeah.
this old miserly dude, she's just like telling him how she like got pulled one over on these people. And she's just like telling him like, and it was a $300,000 sale for my company. Imagine this, $300,000. And they had no idea. Look, they had no idea the product I was selling them was outdated. 3 more generations had come out since all those widgets were sold, since all those widgets were made. And we really pulled one over on them. But we offloaded our stock though. So
Okay. Give me a cool roll.
Okay.
It's gonna be an easy one, so it'll be about 11.
hey, that's 10, 11.
Perfect. You're speaking this guy's language. He starts to tell
business
you
dealings?
about the
Oh yeah.
he starts to tell you about the time he bought an apartment building an intentionally released rat so it would be condemned so he could evict everyone and have it torn down and sell the property for a huge profit.
This is genius, Mr. Funk. How do you think this stuff up?
More banging and crashing in the next room.
Patty is just repeating quietly on comms. Just remember, we could toss him in with the ghosts. It's still an option. Still an option.
Evil,
I am
evil,
starting to
not just
wonder.
he's an
Yeah,
evil
man.
landlord. Come on now. Come on.
Like,
Not again.
I am starting to wonder. I know.
So he's got a downstairs sitting room. It's not fancy. He does have a small television hung over top of it. Seems to be every channel on his cable is blocked out except the financial news network. uh,
Is it like a parental lock or something like that? Like
yeah,
you just can't even get to it. Oh my gosh.
no,
That's
it's
so
just
good.
he doesn't need any of it. He's probably harangued someone at the cable company to only charge him like a bare minimum a month for just the one channel. Somehow he got the a la carte deal. And he's just got a chair on a rug in front of a fireplace. It's an old rug. Was probably nice at one time. It could really use a cleaning. Uh, you were able to roll it back, rip up a couple of boards. You were pretty careful, but you nicked one, and you think this guy ever sees the board, he'll probably remember where the nicks were and weren't. Uh,
We're gonna put like a little tape X over the trap so that we all
okay,
know where the trap is.
yeah. And you roll the you roll the carpet back out.
Yeah.
You're somehow like able to mask the massive cable that has to come in and run under the boards. You're able to strip boards all the way to the door, and you sort of got it tucked behind an end table that's just got a little lamp on it.
Yeah.
You're able to mask it behind that.
Perfect.
Um,
And there's some
and
kind of
he
switch
comes.
or something, right? Like there's something that we have to like step on
Yep,
or
there's like a foot pedal. Yeah.
okay. Okay.
So,
Cool. Cool.
um, I will say, in the old days, the foot pedal was tethered with a wire, but Sparks, this is the Bluetooth age. You've worked out a remote. Just don't go more than 75 feet from it. You should be fine.
We've all just got a button on our wand, like we're shooting, it's like, and we can just like Bluetooth it,
Yeah.
it's okay.
um, so as you guys hunkered down, are you waiting in the room with him, or it's sort of one room that's off the main entrance to the house, only one door in and out.
Mm.
Fairly, it's a good size room, especially considering the lack of furniture they're in.
Is there like a couch that one of us could be like hidden behind in the room?
Yeah, yeah, one of those old Victorian style love seats. That gives off that Vampire the Masquerade vibe.
does he have
Yeah.
like a armoire or a wardrobe or something that I
Yes,
can
we're
hide in?
yes.
Yeah, yes, he does.
Yes. Okay, we'll climb into that.
I feel
So we
like
got one person behind the love seat, one person in the armoire.
Yeah.
I feel like that, like hiding behind the drapes, but where you're like trying to keep your shoes from sticking out. Like old moldy drapes that have been there
You got like
probably
an
since
old
the
step
previous owner.
stool just back there too, so you're standing on the step stool.
Yeah.
There's a street light that's clearly silhouetting you behind it, though. All right, Jan, what are you doing?
Yeah, Jan's just sitting on that couch knitting. Has like a pillow just kind of next to them.
You've got the biggest blanket over you and your
Yeah.
plasma thing, like
Well, I'm pretty sure that this entity is just going to be going right after them. I don't think they're going to care too much until we get involved. So if I'm just sitting here, we should be fine, I'd hope.
Okay. You set your trap. You've got that all done by like 10:15, 10:25. Um Around 11:30, just the only noise is boring trading tips from the TV. Every so often, Mr. Funk, who really doesn't acknowledge your presence if he doesn't have to, coughs or clears his throat or makes an annoying phlegmy noise. A grandfather clock in the hallway just monotonously ticking. Um, Around 11:25, you sort of feel a change in the atmosphere of the room. Uh,
Mm.
and Sparks, your PKE meter, the little wands on the side go up.
I was gonna say, like, maybe Sparks is wearing that helmet thingy, the
Yeah.
Aura video analyzer or whatever, and is trying to, like, give everybody a heads up when things are gonna start to happen.
Okay, yeah. You've got your goggles on. I want to say in your case it's probably a modified version of the Oculus.
Yeah, cool. I'm into
It's like
that.
a Gen 1 Oculus. You got it from a garage sale like 2 years ago.
So his
Um
his pack is, like, more computer or whatever, and it's, like, plugged into that. It's like the bulkiest backpack ever.
yeah,
Good. That's
yeah.
good. And he's, like, on his hands and knees behind this love seat, like, with this gigantic armadillo shell thing, telling everybody
yeah,
what's up.
uh, and when the PKE spikes, it's not like any ghost readings that you've seen before. It's like an order of magnitude larger than anything you've ever seen. Um, it doesn't seem to be in any one particular place. It does seem centered around Mr. Funk, but it's encompassing almost the entire house. Um,
Ooh.
as as you're watching these numbers spike by, I imagine you're having like a Vegeta, it's over 9,000 moment.
Over 9,000. Sorry.
uh, you see some of that energy begin to coalesce in the room as and in your PKE it's large, vaguely humanoid, um almost taking up the entire end of the room in front of the fireplace. What Jan sees as as her knitting needles stop clacking is a figure probably just shy of 6 feet tall, but slim, wearing a gown. It doesn't have a head or hands. What it has are candle flames, just gently, lazily waving uh, in the breeze that isn't there. A spectral breeze, if you will. Uh, it's just staring, from your perspective, it's just staring at Mr. Funk. Mr. Funk is talking to it, and he doesn't seem to be enjoying the conversation.
I think to, like, stay hidden from this being, I think I'm gonna be texting everybody instead of speaking, right? And I'll, like, give them readings and say it's it started bigger than the house and is focused down into this room. This thing is gigantic. What is he saying to it? What is Mr. Funk
um,
saying to it?
a lot of negations, like names, people's names. I didn't know. How could I have known? Things like that. It's one side of a conversation, but it's incomplete.
We all know what it sounds like when a guilty rich man doesn't actually want to take ownership. So Addie is absolutely creeping that door open and is like, wait a second.
Yep.
I want to hear what's going on out here. So I'm gonna
Like
slowly inch the
there's
door
definitely
open.
there's definitely some gaslighting, definitely shifting of blame. There's
Sounds
definitely
about
that
right.
shit going on.
Sounds about right. I'm not moving too quick because I want this ghost to be able to lay into him a little bit. But I will crawl out on all fours. I don't know how slick I can be
Roll
with
me
the
a
photon
moves.
pack on my back, but I'm gonna
the
try.
Did you come out of
the
the
DC
armoire? You came out of the armoire, right?
the
Yeah,
armoire, yeah.
You got,
crawling
like,
out
a
like a
parka
horror.
or something from the
The
armoire.
The DC for this scenario is 15.
I'm sorry, this was a what?
You're looking for a 15 with the moves.
That was a 12, so I'm gonna use hero point to reroll your hero
Okay.
coin because I really want this to work. But I'm gonna change dice. Well, that's a 4, so we got way worse way fast.
you you you're very successful at quietly creeping the door open. But as you try to start to all fours out of the armoire, the weight of the pack, and you're already weakened back, you just face plant onto the ground with a loud crash.
Oh,
The ghost doesn't seem to notice.
Wonderful. I don't move, but you can hear like all of these aborted cuss words because I don't want Jan to get upset with me for cussing like that.
There's a swear jar at the office.
As a Jan just looks over and sees, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Damn it, Jan, how come I have to watch my language as I like climb up and sit back a little bit and I sit
You
and
have
watch?
40 more years on you, all right? I've earned it. But anyway, yeah, it doesn't seem to care anything about us. So I guess we could just probably put the trap under his feet if we wanted to. But I think we should let the conversation play out because this guy looks pretty guilty.
Yeah.
We needed to move. We needed to move on to the X.
Oh
The,
yeah, we
the
don't
trap is in the floor now. So
Yeah.
well, trap situation.
You do
I don't know how it
see
works because I have trap in my inventory, but I don't know if that's for the group.
if you have a trap, you have your own trap.
Mm.
Aside from the one that Sparks has rigged up.
Okay.
So you can have multiple trap. You can only the ghost is only going to go into one trap. um as that's happening, you see the ghost essentially reach its hand out towards Mr. Funk. Mr. Funk hesitantly reaches its hand up as his hand wraps around. It looks like flame. He's not being burned by it. And they stand up and they walk to the window. But from your perspective, they're just standing there, right next to Penelope, who's trying very hard not to be seen behind the drapes.
did for like the briefest of moments, did it like pass over the X on the floor and we like just missed our shot kind of deal?
Yes. Well, it did not cross over the X. Mr. Funk stood up on the X, and then he was next to it, but he wasn't on it.
All right. Then yes, Sparks would like, so close.
Does it look like Mr. Funk has any like realization that we're here anymore? Like, is he in his
He
own
does-
little dream world?
He does not seem to be with you. His eyes, he has rapid eye movement. He is speaking incoherent things. Every so often he cringes or flails. But nothing from your perspective, he's just standing there and the ghost is standing next to him.
What are we gonna Hey Bass.
Well, don't call me that. What?
Look, I don't get paid extra.
What are we supposed to do about this here? It seems like, he's just having a conversation, probably getting his just desserts or whatever.
We don't capture a ghost, we don't get paid. That's what the fine print says.
Are y'all having this conversation while Penelope is still right next to the ghost and Mr. Funk?
Yeah.
Perfect. I love this.
It's just like,
Yeah,
don't
Penelope hasn't
get
even come out from
paid.
behind the curtain.
yeah, hold on, let's see if I got something I can hold up. We don't get paid if we don't bag the ghost. We gotta bag it.
From your conversations with Mr. Funk to Penelope, you think that if you let this go on, and then you let it go on with another ghost, he is probably not going to pay you then either.
Mhm. I think you muted David.
You're right. You're right. Sorry. It's like, gotta get it onto the axe.
How do we do that? It doesn't even seem to care that we're here.
I don't know.
Just
You're the
Okay.
occult expert.
Okay. It's right. That's my job. Look, I could be having hot cocoa with my grandkids, all right, but I'm here. I haven't quite said it right. I had a lot of eggnog to cope with it. Okay.
Somebody's missing
so
midnight mass for this.
the show, not church. Um, we were gonna have a family Netflix night.
Cool grandma. Oh yeah.
Wait. I'm gonna see some bullshit in this accent. It's gonna be totally real and not me just making it up. As she's digging through her big old purse, she's got the big old, like if anyone's seen like Grace and Frankie, that is how she would normally dress, as just Frankie with all the layers and all the things in the big old like
Love
hippie
it.
side bag. And so she's kind of digging through it and pulling out random things and just pulls out like a handful of like crystals. I don't know. These are supposed to like attract spiritual energy. So maybe if we just think real hard about it. Or they're supposed to make the energy avoid you. So maybe we walk, if that's the case, then we just walk at it and hurt it in the right direction. But then if it's attracted to us, then we walk to the X, right?
Sparks, you think there might be something to that?
Uh,
You think
Sure.
well, you know what? There
Yeah,
is,
he's like, okay, yeah, mm,
it possibly would need an energy pumped into the system somehow.
yeah, light one of those up with your proton pack.
You mean like explode it? Like hit it with
Wow.
the beam?
We got to give it some juice, right, to activate the crystal. Maybe I don't know.
She just pulls it off her back. Pull.
I'm gonna throw 2 or 3 crystals kind of close to Penelope because it's like that's where the ghost is, right?
Yeah, yeah. Give
I'll
me
be like,
give me a moves
Penelope,
check.
duck.
Give me a moves check. If you succeed, it's a perfect shot. If not, it's probably close enough, but fingers crossed.
Which one of us?
Which one
does-
of us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sparks, you're throwing the crystals.
Okay, all right. Okay. Ooh, I'm gonna use my ability here, which is outside the box thinker, for +2. So that is a 12 total.
12. So the DC for the room is 15.
Sweet.
They
Oh, I
they
know
land they land on the far side of the ghost between Penelope and the spirit. You wanted them closer. You overestimated your chuck.
Sure.
Penelope,
Oh.
are you going to stay there while Eggnog Jan fires up a nuclear accelerator and aims it in your direction?
You remember last night how great she is with that proton accelerator, right?
A much
So the-
better close up. And what's that called? Near sight. Everything in this room is less blurry.
So the intention is we're gonna light these up, and are they placed properly at this point? Like they're, I think
You
like
think
Like kick
Yeah,
'em to the
you
X,
think
maybe?
if Jan is right that they're repellent, and Sparks is right that the charge will ignite them, they should, where they are, push the spirit towards the X.
yeah, I'm still, even though this thing is not really like aware of us, I'm like sliding through the drapes the other direction, getting covered in like cobwebs, like trying to get over to the corner away from the window, like
So good. This huge proton pack on your body. You're like,
Yeah.
Just like, yeah, scraping along the wall.
Old plastic.
wallpaper that they haven't made in 50 years is pretty cheap
Yeah.
to replace. I mean,
You've
it's like
you've
not a big
exposed some plaster and laugh on the walls. It's This place hasn't even been insulated.
Just shiplap.
Yeah, it's so cold in here.
All right, Jan, did you want to take your shot?
Yeah, I do.
DC's 15.
Thanks.
That was a 13. It was really close. I'm gonna use my point and do it again.
All right.
Wait. Is there a way to help her? Is there a way for like one
Yeah.
of us to give her a bonus, like 1 or 2?
If you like, I will say this: like, she lights it up with a 13, and you can Sparks. You're behind the couch. You're right behind her. You can see it's going wild. If you want to reach over and like pull the wand,
Close-ish.
I will let you roll a moves with an easy DC. So that's going to be a 12.
Okay. I'll try that. That
and
sounds fun.
that will guide her on target.
All right, that is the 17
Perfect.
on
I'll
the
hold
die.
on to
That
the
is
arrow.
all right. Yeah. So, so just like it's like that. The only like image that came into my mind was that scene in Ghost when it's like the hands come around and
The
just like
pottery
gently
scene.
guide. You know, like he's not trying to be romantic about it, but like it's a big heavy thing. He's like, I gotta get both my hands on this, and
You're
we're
both wearing bulky sweaters.
yeah, exactly.
It's like a polar bear hugging.
There's a
polar
little static discharge between us, you know, from the sweaters and you know the namesake.
bear. So when Jan touches it off, like the recoil, right?
Oh,
She's
sure.
never ready for the recoil.
Never.
You grab it. The initial burst just explodes the chandelier that's over the chair. It arcs a carbon scored beam across the ceiling, blows out the window, but it does hit the crystals. And the crystals glow into life, and they arc little bits of electricity between them, and you see the candle flame that are this thing's head and hands that have been kind of gently swaying in an unseen breeze are like, it's almost like a gust of wind just blasted them in the direction of your trap, and it has moved over the trap. You pushed it back, and
I'm diving for whatever button lever we have established.
okay. Mr. Funk is like suddenly he's groggy, but he seems to be coming back to himself. Whatever has been occurring between them has been broken. Roll me a moves and then roll your trap damage.
So that's a 5. But when I was working at Disney World, Universal Studios, we don't support Disney. I'm so sorry. When I was working at Universal Studios, we talked about how it's really, really important that you remain calm in times of crisis. And so I initially start scrambling and like patting just random surfaces. And then I remember, no, there's a system to this. So I will use it's on my resume skill to reroll that number.
Yes.
I love that you're leaning into it.
That's going to be a 14.
A 14. Yes, the trap goes off. The ghost is fighting it.
Ooh, but I did roll 8 on my traps dice.
It did roll an 8. Okay, because you technically missed, it'll be 4.
Okay.
But the ghost is over the trap. The trap is fighting hard to draw this thing in, but it is very strong. The spirit now flailing at this this heretofore unknown scenario is suddenly seems to be aware that there are other people in the room with it. I will say, that's the first one. Okay. Addie. This thing doesn't have a face that you can see, but it is looking right at you.
Good.
And you can feel that. I'm going to have you make an awareness roll, and again, the DC is 15.
Okay. Oh, that is not a D20. I mean, well, that number would be on a D20. Do you want me to keep that? It was a D12.
No, roll your D20.
Okay, thank you, because that was a 1.
Yeah,
Oh,
because you're definitely not hitting a DC 15 with a D12.
Certainly not. Still not going to do it with an 8.
Okay.
I don't want to abuse my power, but I can come up with another job experience to reroll. But I don't want to abuse my power.
I will say, because this is not technically your turn, you wouldn't be able to. Scroll up real quick. You are suddenly not in the room with everyone else.
oh,
You look around and it's your first apartment. And there's a little tiny Christmas tree in one corner of it. It's like potted. You got it at Lowe's or someplace like that. It's got just a few tiny lights on it. And in your cramped little apartment is your entire family. I want you to go through what that looks like for us.
Oh my god. I have set my tiny dining room table. This is my 3 siblings, both of my parents, my grandma, and I have them crammed kind of, at the countertops. And this is a 1-bedroom apartment. Like, there's not a lot of space, but they're at countertops or at the coffee table, and I'm going around and playing host and bringing food that I've made for Christmas. And every time that I move away from a space, I hear a comment about how the apartment is so small and it really should be cleaner here. And I can't believe we're spending Christmas here instead of at mom's place that's got 5 bedrooms. And why the heck, why did we come here? Why did Addie insist that we come here? But similar to how y'all saw them whenever he was driving and he was kind of making a song, Addie's just trying to pretend to sing, trying to keep spirits up, serving this very ungrateful and very high demand family. But yeah, it's not a happy time.
And as that like memory squeezes inside of your chest, like those kind of memories tend to do, you sort of lose track of not who you are, but where you are, what you're supposed to be doing. So you will not be able to act on your next turn. You will be able to make
Okay.
another awareness roll to snap out of
Okay.
it.
God, it got so sad so fast. We were having a good time.
This thing does not play around. The I will say, let me check something. We'll go to Penelope next, then David, then Taylor, because initiative in this game is just clockwise around the table from whoever goes first.
Alrighty.
Yes,
So-
you notice the flames. You can't tell what direction this thing's face is. The robes seem to have a front. Its arms are flailing around, but the flames have gone from a yellow to a bright, vivid red. And the energy in the room has spiked. Sparks, the numbers on your PKE that were already obscenely high have doubled.
Penelope is
Oh,
like.
love that.
Sorry, go ahead.
I just said great.
Addie
Love that.
takes 3 points of damage.
3.
Mental stress.
Jeez. God.
Just, you let Mr. Funk sort through that for like 15 minutes.
Okay, but I'm not a shitty landlord, okay? Make it clear.
How hard was the blast? Because I imagine she still wasn't incredibly far from it.
As far as the proton stream,
Well, yeah, when they hit the crystal, was it hard enough to kind of like buffet her at all, or why?
No, no, no. It's the stream doesn't. It's not like explosive.
Right.
It's high energy directed. It's more like a
Okay.
laser.
Oh, okay. So it just like charged up
So
the
yeah,
crystal. It
yeah.
was like started.
I mean,
Yeah.
glass flew everywhere when they blew out the window.
Oh yeah. But she is kind of like stumbling out of the drapes, but kind of caught in them, trying to slap them away, trying to keep her eyes on this ghost, and trying to get glass out of her hair, and doing this thing. And she kind of like stumbles out and stops and looks at it and realizes it's red, and it's like, uh oh. Uh, she like grabs her wand, just trying to aim at it so that it'll go in this trap. She's trying to just get it a little bit weaker, let it fall into the trap, like hoping like maybe it's not looking at me. Like the obviously it's looking at somebody else. Let me just so she's aiming up her shot.
All right. Because you're taking your time and aiming it, I will make it an easy roll. Plus, it's also snagged in the trap cone,
Okay.
so that'll be a 12.
Okay. Okay, that's another 9. What do I add to it? Anything?
Whatever you have in your moves.
Like efforts or
No. The stat
oh,
moves.
moves the stat. Oh yeah, so that's a 10.
Great.
The stream sails wide, just wide of the spirit. That armoire that Addie had fallen out of is just bursting in flames.
It's another like $5,000. Holy shit.
Flames. Well,
Friggin'
those
it.
flames are about to make it house thousands of dollars.
I'm sure
If
there's
we
enough
destroy the room
asbestos
with the
in
first ghost, then we don't really have to worry about like containing ourselves for the next 2, you know?
walls.
We've already done the damage.
Yeah, the room's already totaled. um, it's occupied with Addie at the moment, so it's not going to make an aggressive move towards Penelope. Um, let's see. Then it was David. So Sparks.
Okay. I think
You have your PKE visor on, so and I will make it an easy roll for you as well
okay.
because you're pretty aware through the readings that what you're seeing is how you're perceiving it, not how it is.
Oh,
Um,
sure.
but the PKE is telling you more accurate data, so it'll be an easy roll for you as well.
Okay. Then yeah, I'm gonna try and proton pack this sucker to
All right.
try and weaken them. Ooh, okay. That is a 17 on the die, so we're good there. And
Yep.
then it's a D8 for the proton pack.
D8.
All right.
D8 for the proton stream.
And since it's all in my plans, I get a +2 on any effort rolled, which I think is this, right? This is the effort.
Yes.
Also,
Yep. D8 plus any effort you put into it, plus from your ability.
okay, cool. I'm gonna put like 2 effort into this then.
Well, you would assign the effort like when you're making the character. Like if you had if
I'm
you
with you
put
now.
2
Okay,
points into
I've got that
yeah.
there. Then yeah, I've got a
All
got
right.
a
Yeah.
+1 on the proton pack. Okay, thank you. Now I
Yeah.
understand. So it's an 8 total in damage.
In effort. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the proton stream wraps around this ghost and it begins flailing and it is tugging on you hard. So I'm gonna have you make a muscles check.
Oh, okay.
Um
What is my it's 11? Yeah, no.
yeah. You try to plant your feet and hold this thing over the trap. You're standing on the other end of that rug and your feet are sliding on top of the
Yeah.
rug.
I'm like
towards the
sliding
ghost.
over the love seat down onto
Yeah,
the
yeah.
ground kind of thing.
Well, yeah,
As is yanking
you're
me.
actually you're
Yeah,
knocking
like-
you're knocking Jan over.
Yeah. Whoa.
She's had to put down her knitting needles now. It's getting serious. Um, the
Good.
the ghost is still in your stream. You're still,
I'm just getting
he's
yanked around by it.
He's pulling you around pretty hard, and you did 8 damage to it, which is pretty impressive. So just keeping track in my head. Jan, he's got one stream on it. Generally, you need at least two. There was that ghost chipmunk. It was a one and done.
Yeah, I
But
mean, it was so tiny after all. And, well, in Jan's mind, she did a great job. She shot the crystal. She knocked all this going. She hasn't established the other peripheral damage yet. So she gonna take another shot, baby.
all right, go for it. Again, it's caught in the trap cone. It's caught in Spark's beam. It's going to be an easy roll.
You say that. Oh, no, okay, that's good. That's 16.
All right.
We did it.
I
We
mean,
did it. We
easy
did
is a
it.
game is a system term.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it. You wrapped it around. Roll your effort for the proton pack, which is D8 plus whatever you put into the effort score.
Maybe I'll be 18. Where did it? I've rolled it. Where did it go?
I'm waiting for one of you to get a crit so you can roll that D12, that juicy D12 damage.
We'll just use a new D8. That's 8 plus 1 in my proton pack, so 9.
9. All right. Yeah, you wrap a second stream around this thing. It is suddenly Sparks's forward momentum is halted as it is pinned in between your beams. The ghost trap is already activated, and it slowly begins to lower into the trap. As you guys,
I'm real
going to have
sorry
you.
about this, buddy. I commend everything you were trying to do, but unfortunately, capitalism.
Gotta pay the rent.
Unfortunately, we didn't hit our quota.
And it goes into the trap. The trap shuts. It sparks briefly. The doors fly open. This thing reaches back out for a brief second before it's sucked back in, and the lights blink green. Addie, with that, you're out of your reverie.
I just kind of blink and I go to roll over and then remember I have a turtle shell, so I kind of just flop sideways. Just slowly sit up and look around. Do you guys do it?
The room's on fire. Yep.
looks about right, honestly. This is probably, what is this, Penelope? Like, we're less than 10K, right? Damages?
Oh, absolutely.
I don't imagine he sprung for a fire extinguisher. Did you, Mr. Funk?
he's you just see him like muttering about the armoire being an antique.
Oh, it's fine. I feel like Jen has like
Chandelier.
caused so much damage and fires that she does carry a fire extinguisher, but accidentally goes to grab for the proton pack again. It's like, whoa, no, that's
Yeah, you're able to pat the fires out, and the next hour or so is pretty awkward. A lot of silence. He's Funk is clearly questioning his decision to have hired you people in the first place.
well, we're professional.
And Penelope, you can see the adding machine in his eyes, adding up the damage.
Jesus.
He knows a thing or two about real estate and renovation.
Lordy. She's trying to distract. She's just trying to distract. She's trying to talk through him, like, this time of year, people just the charity of everything. People just constantly begging for money. Little bell ringers out in front of the stores. Why can't anyone work for a
Oh, I
living,
do
huh,
that
Mr. Funk?
sometimes.
Working for a living. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to just, really get in there and get the job done. These people, they don't want to work. No.
He says, yes, I agree. They're parasites, but if you use me like that for bait again, you won't get paid.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about. We had a big old fight on our hands. I'm surprised you made it out of there without a scratch. You're a real tough one there, Mr. think
It's funk.
that's right. What is that, Norwegian?
German.
That makes more sense. Oop.
So that are you you're maintaining the trap position? I assume you went through a lot of work to get those floorboards tore up.
We're not gonna touch him again because he's in this room.
Yeah.
She sends a text message to everyone because she's still trying to keep up this facade of being this like, you know, I don't know, Trump supporter. I don't know, whatever she's trying to do here. And so she
Capitalist.
texts everyone. Yes, she texts everyone. She's like, "Hey, as soon as we see the ghost, we take action. No more waiting. We can use him as bait, but only for a second. If he starts going into whatever sort of visions he was having, this is not going to work."
I mean, well, and
I
text.
so have the urge. I'm not going to, but the goof is she's trying to read it again and then just hits the Siri read it to her button. So there's just
Yes.
I'm like, oh, all right.
Oh
Siri
my
says, I don't understand the term douche nozzle.
That's good.
the yeah, the another hour or so ticks by. It's closing in on 12:30.
Whenever it passes midnight, Spark says "Merry Christmas" to everybody in the room, and does like a little happy
Ooh.
dance.
Hold on, everybody. Hold on, everybody. Starts
Well,
digging
I have a
through her
hero
bag
point for
again.
that.
She starts like digging through her bag again and like gets out these little like goodie bag looking things, where it's like the clear plastic with the little bow on it. And it has like the what's that like the candy glass, but it's like super pepperminty or cinnamony,
Oh
and you like
yeah.
break it and it's like little shards. It's that, but then also there's like little mini liquors in there to make like a little like cinnamony rum and coke.
Oh my god, that's
It's a
so
tradition in
beautiful.
our family. My husband was a big fan of cinnamon, so made his way into everything. She just starts like just opens both of them. It's like, yeah, like a little tiny shot of like rum, a little tiny thing of like Coke that she very clearly prepackaged in like a mini mason jar ahead of time for this moment. And just chugs them both down at the same time and pops in a sugar. Candy.
That's so adorable.
Ooh.
You can have a hero point for that too. um are you guys going to try to hide again? There's considerably less cover than there was before.
Oh yeah, we like put out the fire. Did we do that? Did we put out the
Yeah,
fire?
yeah.
Yes, yes.
Jan carries a fire extinguisher. She's been with this crew for a while now.
Made a lot of fires. I think I'm gonna do a little bit of prep in this moment. All right, because we're gonna have to clean up a bit of a mess. And if we want him to be on this little X and all of these things are going, this is a big room, it can kind of pop up wherever we want. So I think she's gonna put some of those crystals in various corners, like away from windows and walking and being able to stare out longingly at something. Um, and then just like sprinkles a shit ton of like salt in various areas to try and make it to where like the only place that she thinks it could apparate is like in the general area of the X, so we don't have to do as much wrangling.
We, we strategically shift the love seat so that more than one of us can hide behind it. Because the drapes are fine. It's really the Armora that took the brunt, right? So like now
Yeah.
it's me and Adeline hiding behind.
I
the
will
thing.
say the cold winter air of central New York is pouring in through the open window at this point. So I imagine you've heaped what's left of the armoire onto the fire in the fireplace. As you wait, two of you forehead to forehead with your feet visibly out from behind this love seat. I'm at Jan. Are you still sitting and knitting on the love seat.
Yeah, I've raided a couple of pantry or closets in the hallway for extra blankets because it is chilly with that window broken out. So got a few more like quilts just sitting on my lap, plus the
Penelope,
one I'm making.
what's your game plan?
Oh, for me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You know, uh, Penelope, I guess, probably back in the drapes again. I mean, it seemed to work out pretty well before, as long as we get out of the way of the stream and get not getting crystals chucked at our head. So, yeah, she's back in there now with more room. So her proton pack is kind of hanging out the front window a little bit. She's standing there trying
Yeah.
to balance and keep herself from falling backwards out of the
And
window.
your ass is a little cold, but the proton pack is doing a mighty fine job of shielding your back from that cold air.
There you go.
uh,
You're now
and
thankful that
as,
it has like an ambient warmth that always radiates off of it.
Yeah, it's
That-
preferable
as
to
you,
the back sweat it usually causes.
yeah.
yeah. The increased amount of freckles for some reason. Um, the as the time ticks by, again, Sparks, you have your KE visualizer on, and again, those numbers start to rise, and it's like appearing around the entire house as one massive thing, and it's, if anything, it's even more powerful than the one that came before it. Um, and it begins to coalesce down into something within the room. Um, this one, where the first one had like a yellowish energy in your visualizer, this one has more of a vibrant green energy. And Jan, when you see it apparate, it it appears to be a redheaded man around the age 30, rather large, 6 foot tall, 6 foot two, a little heavy around the middle. He's wearing a hideous Christmas sweater. He's got a red beard. He seems pretty jovial. Looks like a nice guy. Um,
Oh my god, he's Santa Claus. Kris Kringle, everybody.
and he doesn't seem to notice you like the last ghost. He doesn't seem to notice anyone else is in this room at all. Um, Mr. Funk notices immediately and like begins screaming for your help. And with that, the creature that looks like a pudgy man in a Christmas sweater um, reaches out his hand, and again, a similar vibe like that. You hear Funk proclaiming that his housekeeper doesn't need a days off. He pays her more than she's worth already. He doesn't care that her kid is sick. That kind.
Yeah, I think at
uh,
seeing him, Penelope is like, "Showtime!" Like she like does like this and is like she's mouthing "Showtime!" Go! Like
it is quite obviously avoiding those salt piles that you made.
Good, that's good. Wrangling them up. I think Jan is like, all right, let's do this, but is like very clearly, very slowly getting up, like
Yeah.
moves each blanket over,
The
stands.
cold gets into your joints.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's totally just putting on a fucking act at this moment, and it's very obvious. She's
Yes.
like, okay, we're gonna do this. All right. And just letting him talk to this ghost as long as possible as she's glowing.
Tracking your feet.
Yeah. Dragon feet.
It's going to be your first. I'm obviously there's not going to be an initiative. It doesn't know you're here until you move. You can decide who among you wants to go first. Just from the overlay, we're going to go clockwise around. So if you wanted to start with Taylor, we'll go around, and the ghost will either react or go when its turn happens.
Yeah, I'll go. I probably should stop trying to shoot things. So let me try something else for a bit. She thinks she's doing great though. Um,
She is
but
doing great.
I know she's awesome. But this funk fella using for being blah, whatever. This guy sucks. I think she wants to try and kind of like maybe digs through and is like, oh yeah, okay, so that crystal was the repellent. This one should attract energies and like pulls out like just this giant like hunk of a rock. Like, how has she been carrying that around seemingly effortlessly with also everything else she's pulled out of this bag? Who knows? And wants to try and like position herself between this ghost and Mr. Funk and try and talk to the ghost. Just get the attention so that everyone else can deal with him while he's focused on her and not this guy so he can get over himself.
Okay. Roll me awareness.
I would love to. Yeah, I would love to. That is the natural 20 plus 2.
Wow.
See, I just had to
Um,
stop shooting stuff.
the when when you do that, you put yourself in between Mr. Funk and the spirit. Do you say anything to the spirit?
And just kind of scoot over and put me like, yeah, hello. Yeah. I was gonna say Mr. Kringle, but I don't quite know. You just kind of look like him from the cartoon. Um, my name's Jan. This guy, I get what you're doing here, but unfortunately, we're hired to keep you away from him. I hate it as much as you do. I really do. If you want to continue to have a conversation with the two of us at the same time, that's fine too.
Um, it looks down at you, and as it does, it had like a ginger beard. Just in the few moments it's been here, you can see gray has been creeping into it already. Um, it seems to release its hold on Funk, and he staggers back into his seat, clearly exhausted from whatever he was going through. I want you to roll me. Um, I want you to roll me an awareness roll as it
Okay.
makes eye contact with you, and its smile is benevolent. Its eyes are smiling, but there is a serious purpose in its gaze.
I know you fucking kidding you. That's the second nat 20.
Are you shitting me?
All right, this die, it's got ups and downs, man. Ups and downs.
Hmm. Yeah, you feel it's trying. As an occult expert, you have studied possession. You've studied um all manner of like people channeling things, spirit energies, and things like that. And you feel almost like a pressure at the back of your brain, and you are pretty sure this thing is probing you, trying to get inside. And for a second, you think you hear people crying, not like I stubbed my toe crying. It's like I've just lost somebody. I am completely bereft by the loss of this person, or complete and utter sorrow and hopelessness, but it doesn't take hold. You're able to kind of blink and shrug it off. As you do,
Thanks.
the the crystal you're holding briefly glows, and it's pulled in next to you. However, you are both standing on top of the trap.
Oh boy. I'll just kind of uh, holding, keeping them real close and just, yeah. Sorry there, Mr. Ghosty. It may not look like it, but steel trapped right here. It's a little harder to get into. And what you're trying to make me to remember, I don't think I want to relive that again. So, I am very sorry, but now I'm a little spiteful because you wanted to make me be in a bad mood on Christmas Eve. So it just drops the crystal on the X and jumps onto the bed out of the
All right.
way.
Addie, that puts you on deck.
Um, I have been paying attention and taken a note from my fellow teammates, and instead this time of activating the trap immediately, I will use the photon pack to try and weaken the ghost a little bit,
All right.
keeping my distance.
All right. Roll. The DC for this room for this encounter is 16. And again, Jan, as you jump back, his beard is visibly grayer.
That is a natural 20.
Oh, you nailed it.
Love that.
Yeah. I mean, perfect shot. You brace your feet for the recoil. You actually aim down a little bit, and that brings your barrel up perfect level. As in the exact second that Jan jumps back, roll me the D12 for the ultimate effort.
Yes.
That's a 9. I'll take it.
Nice. Yeah. It's wrapped in this beam and it unleashes an otherworldly scream. I will even though it's in the beam, it is going to see, you can't move now. So it is going to look directly at you, and I need an awareness roll.
Oh, come on. I am so afeared of these things now. Where did my D20 go? Oh, that is a 19 on the die for a 21.
Yes, you guys are you guys are
Nice.
not letting the
Bouncing
Christmas
back.
spirit in. It's a dog eat dog world. You got to be closed off to the outside. Yeah, no, it tries. And again, similar to what Jan experienced, you can hear these whispers around the outside. You don't think they're memories. You think whatever it is, it's contemporary, but it's not directly tied to you. um, that would be Penelope.
Okay.
Curtains
So
aside, surprise.
so she is like trying to get like let's go. She's grabbed her her wand. She's trying to get this thing like cuz we haven't opened the trap yet, right?
Nope.
Nobody's opened the trap yet. Okay. And nobody has anybody connected with it yet at this point?
Yes, Addie has it confined in a beam, and Addie, it was a perfect hit, and it rocked this thing.
Okay. So she's seeing that it's attached. It's hooked. She's got her stream claws in it. So she is going to she's going to go ahead and activate the trap so she can get guided in there, and
Okay.
then let everyone else kind of like guide it into the show. It's ready to go when this thing hits it. So to activate the trap, did we talk about we have a button for this, or do I have to get near
Yeah.
it? Okay.
Sparks has rigged a Bluetooth button on everyone's
Yes.
wands.
Okay. So do I need to do any kind of check for that, or just hit the button and it should open?
Hit the button. Roll me a D20. It'll be easy, so it'll be a 13. Just on the off chance the Bluetooth connection has failed.
Okay, that's 10. What am I adding to it?
It would be a moves roll.
Moves.
Or
Dang.
if you have something, I would also allow any of the intelligence rolls. Got something higher in those.
Yeah, not
Awareness
really.
or all right, cool
Not
then.
Yeah, cool is what I got the most. I got 3 in that.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. Roll your cool. Roll your cool.
Okay, so then I'm
And
gonna pull
describe
this off.
how awesome you look doing this.
Yeah, so she's gonna she's kind of she's out of the drapes now. She's trying to rally the troops. She's like she pulls her thing out. She's like, all right, motherfucker, it's time. You're gonna go Betty buys. And she's like, that was a terrible ladder, but she does it anyway. She hits that button. right? 13. Does that do
It
it?
was a 13. Yep.
Okay. Solid. Time to end this Christmas present. Unwrap this Christmas present. Wrap this Christmas present. Ha ha. Yeah.
We workshopped it and got there. Okay.
Got it. Got it.
Roll me your proton pack effort, which is a D8.
A 1.
All right. It's an even 10 between the two of you. Yeah, you've got it. You've confined it, and it's still struggling though. It's got a lot of heart left in it. And that brings us to Sparks.
Yeah, Sparks is gonna jump on this bandwagon of the proton gun. But both of them hit, so there's two already on it. Oh no,
He's
there's a
got
trap
two
on it,
confined.
and yeah,
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was the trap. Sorry.
yeah.
One.
No, all good. All good. Yeah, I'll do my proton pack on it. No special like flourish here, just
Yeah.
jump
Again,
out of the from
it's
behind
got
the
a
love seat next to Adel.
and it's got a trap on it. It's got a confinement beam, so it'll be an easy roll. So 13.
Okay. That is gonna miss, I think, at an 11. So
You blow the door right off the hinges.
why,
That's it.
why is everything in this room made of wood? I think
you actually when you shoot, you actually step on one of Jan's discarded rum bottles.
no.
You know those little
Actually,
ones.
if you don't mind, I think I do want to re-roll this.
Okay, go
If
for
you're
it.
all right with that, I'll spend one of my
But
hero
bear in
points.
mind, in an alternate reality, you blew the door off that hinges, tripping
Yeah,
on
no,
a
I
rum
still
bottle.
did it. Never mind. That door's
Oh, you
now
did anyway.
double toast. Yeah, no.
Yeah, you slip on one of those tiny little rum bottles she's been spiking her eggnog with, and he blows the door right off the hinges.
Yeah, and he does like the full pratfall that you see in the shows,
Yeah,
like his feet are up in the air, you know.
the stream never stops, and
Yeah, oh
it
yeah, yeah,
carves a big gouge out of the
yeah,
ceiling as well.
yeah,
Thankfully, you already destroyed the rare crystal chandelier.
yeah. That wasn't on me. That doesn't go to my personal file.
Yeah, that's not taken out of my pay.
I don't think Jan's
And I
ever been paid in this job. She's just here for fun because all of her
That's right.
paycheck goes to damages.
That's right. That's so funny.
So Jan went first, so the ghost actually gets a go. Strained. So
Mm.
Sparks, as you land on your back and flounder, the wind's knocked out of you. You make eye contact with this thing struggling in the confinement beams. And I need an awareness roll out of you.
Okay, I and this is for fear, right? Like they're making us all afraid.
You don't know exactly what it's doing. It is trying to get inside your head, though.
Yeah, fair enough. So that is 15.
15. That is not quite enough. All right.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough.
So, what is the question?
Yeah.
Um,
Thank you all for the raid.
we're busting ghosts.
Yeah.
Good ones, unfortunately.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, we really don't want to be
um,
doing this. But
No.
Sparks, your consciousness, you're suddenly not in this room anymore. You're flying by yourself through the night. Um, what what family Christmas are you missing out on right now?
Oh,
Because that's where you are, literally watching people have Christmas without you.
dude. Yeah, we see Sparks's father. He's like a older he's an older guy sitting in like a big lazy boy comfy chair. and it's his new wife that is younger than Sparks, and like two little kids, and like all of her family is there. And like the fire is warm, you know, the cake and Christmas dinner looks immaculate. You know, they probably ordered it in kind of deal. And that's the situation that Sparks is missing out on.
All right. And so as you're watching these people that you love and that you wanted to spend time with have the joyous Christmas celebration that you desperately hope to um, gauge in, you kind of feel the cost. What helping this odious man is costing you personally.
Yeah.
You are trapped in this reverie, so you on your next turn you will only be able to roll your awareness to try to break loose.
Okay. Perfect.
Um, and that brings us back around to Jan. You jumped out of the way. Uh, Addie laid the most textbook proton stream into this thing anyone has ever seen. Like this is training video worthy stuff. The face of your organization came out. Pithy one liner. It hurt. It stung a little bit. It's not perfect. We'll refine it later. But look pretty
You're
damn cool
doing
pressing
great.
that button. Open the
Yeah.
trap. Sparks rushes out, slips on a rum bottle that you may or may not have carelessly dropped on the floor. And he seems to have
Look, I
locked
gave them
eyes
to
with this thing.
everybody. Who says it's mine? The only one that's drank it. Oh, buddy. See, like, why you gotta go and do that? We're just here doing our job. You're doing your job. You don't gotta make his life hell. Make this guy's life hell. As I kind of thumb into the chest of Mr. Grump or whatever his name
Funk. It's
Funk,
funk.
I think.
He
Yeah, that
corrects
gay.
you. And I'm paying you
Yeah.
specifically for them not to do that.
Yeah, well, maybe you should pay a therapist instead. All right. And I'll just do it. I don't
Hero
know why
point
I'm
for
the
the
one that keeps
therapist check
shooting, but
comment.
here we are. Yeah, I'm gonna try and shoot. I really tried to not do that this round, but here we are
Go
back
for
at
it.
it again with the
It'll be a
proton beam.
13 because he's got a confinement beam and he's in the cone of the trap.
Alrighty. All right, Mr. Chris Kringle. I'm so sorry about this, but I'm not fucking kidding you. It was another 20.
You crit again? All right,
It was
roll that
another
sick D12. That's two. Like
20.
you were inspired by Addie. Addie, whose back troubles them awful this time of
Oh.
year. You paid attention to how Addie started with the wand pointed down a little bit, so when it kicks, it tracks perfectly.
Being here in the center of the room, I can see everything a lot better. I can't get this damn
Well, the rum is
D12
helping.
out of the. Okay, I got it. Like stuck in there. That is 6 plus 1, 7.
7. All right.
Or is that a 9? That's a 9, right? Hold on. Yeah,
9
that's a
plus
9.
1.
That's the dot. Yeah, so 10.
Yeah. That is exactly what you needed. as as this thing again, it is kicking, it's streaming, it's pulling the two of you towards it, but you're wrangling it back. And as you do, it slowly loses its fight to escape the cone of the trap and is pulled in. Um
Yeah,
again,
sorry, dear bud.
for a second, the trap is still, and then the floorboards underneath rattle and jump, and again settles down, and on the cabling that that Sparks has run in, the light turns green.
I,
And so now there is an
I,
open window and a door to have a nice draft like blow right through.
I think Sparks is going to go up and look out the window to the truck where we've got that makeshift ghost vault made out of the freezer that he like I don't know what mad science he did to make it work.
He cannibalized the whole proton pack for it. So
Yeah, exactly. He's gonna go and look out at the truck and just like make sure that it's like that it's still there. That
it's there. It seems to be sitting much lower on its suspension than it was.
Oh, that's good. All
yeah,
right.
And there is a faint smoke rising from it, but I mean, that happens around ghost traps. It's not.
sure, sure,
It tends to compress the air around it, and that's like it's a vapor thing.
sure, sure. Yeah, then I think he'll kind of look at it and go, "Oh, okay, this is working. This is working. We're all it'll it'll be okay. If not a little heartbroken, but it'll be okay."
Yeah, you all right
Funk.
there, bud? You had a real 1,000-yard stare there, Chris
It got
Kringle.
me. The Kringle, yeah, but I'll be okay. I'll be okay.
I felt him digging around in there and some remnants of a thing I'd rather not remember, so I can only imagine. Here for
Funk
you
is
if you
sitting in
need
his
a good
chair,
chat.
just
I'm gonna
muttering
go
to
ahead and
himself.
do that rum and coke you got me. So thank you. And he's gonna like,
Make sure to follow it up with some of the cinnamon candy. It really makes
yeah, I
it.
mean, he's gonna like break off some of the candy into the rum and coke so it like melts a little bit or something like that, and then
Hero point for stultification.
stultification. I'll take it. I'll take it. Need all these hero points I can get. This game's hard.
See, I don't know what it is because it's just a 20 system, but everyone I play with it rolls like crap. Except for Addie, who's like, and Jan, who's just turned into the 20 machine.
Look, it's not gonna hold. Let me say, we're gonna get a lot of ones very quick soon. I feel it.
But you're all kind of sitting in the room again. Not that Mr. Funk ever has tremendously high spirits, but he seems very sullen. Bits of plaster are falling off the ceiling. There's scorch marks everywhere. Every so often, a little bit of more flame pokes up on either the carpet or the drapes, and Penelope stamps it back out.
There's like this ember
Uh,
we haven't just found and gotten rid of yet. It just keeps coming
yeah.
back.
It's getting moved in the wind.
And it's that air blowing right over it, just flares it back up.
Great.
So, Mr. Frump, what was it that Mr. Ghosty Chris Kringle showed you, huh?
I don't see how it's pertinent, but he showed me the way the effect I have on my employees and the people I do business with.
Well, we've only been doing business for a very short amount of time, and I'm gonna be real frank with you. You kind of suck at it. You're kind of curmudgeon.
Yeah, great. Let's just insult our client. Thank you. That's really good.
Oh, look. Yeah, I've read that contract because I'm apparently the only one here that reads things. And it says nothing about deductions for me telling him what's what, only for the door and the window and the rug and the thing.
Well,
Roll
you know,
me,
it's
both of you roll me a cool.
That's great. That is so
It
good.
surprised y'all to know that Dan
13.
doesn't have much cool. 15.
Oh, because it's a D20 system. Numbers don't matter.
Yeah. Penelope, you read on this guy, and you're fabulous at reading people, especially greedy people. The You'd think a few hours ago he wouldn't have taken that, but he just sort of looks a little hangdog and looks side-eyed at Jan and says, maybe there's something to that. And he's just sort of moping there.
Having people work on holidays or, not paying them what they're worth for it. That's a start.
Who owns Ghostbusters Unlimited? Just as a question.
It's a conglomerate. It's
All right.
it's like if you go far enough up, it's probably Elon Musk or or Jeff Bezos. It's
Oh,
one of those
shit.
two
All right,
guys.
yeah,
no.
fair enough, fair enough, fair
Yeah.
enough. It's like, I hope one of them's getting a visit tonight too.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
a company owned by a company owned by a company.
Yeah, we got one more of these to go, I guess.
Uh, I think like picking up on him kind of being a little bit like, you know, more self-aware perhaps. She kind of like sits down on the love seat next to him and just like put, kind of, well, I mean, there's no table, but she's just kind of like, yeah, you know, sometimes, you know, you got a lot of years on me. A lot more business deals I'd love to hear about. Sometimes I think it's easy though to get caught up in the next deal, the next $100,000, the next $1,000, the next million. Like, but does that make you happy? Hasn't made me very happy, I'll tell you that. I'm only 33, so
It you think that hit home. He's very quiet now. And he says almost too low to hear, I'm not sure I've ever been happy.
she grabs one of those little packages from Jan, hands it to him.
Jan's still sitting on the edge of the bed with him and just pats his back.
We
Hands over the bottle.
got a little time before the next ghost comes if they're following the same order. Why don't we make a toast? Have a little drink, maybe. Celebrate Christmas, right? Aye, aye there.
She pulls out a full bottle of rum.
Where do you
Is
get
it from
this
his liquor hutch?
No, it's from her bag.
Oh, that's all right, fair
It was nestled in next
Or
to the
bag
You
of
table.
know
endless
this
hooch.
mofo has liquor. You know
Yeah.
he's got good stuff too.
For sure.
It's well
I'm
aged.
not adding that to our list
That's
of,
fair.
of,
That's fair.
of prices.
Um, Penelope, I want you to roll me a cool. That was a very
Okay.
persuasive speech you just gave.
Okay, that's a 9. I'm gonna re-roll it because I have hero
Okay.
coins. I've
You guys
not been
can
using.
you can also donate hero coins between each other too. There's no rule against that.
Okay, that's a 15. I'll take that.
15.
Oh, plus 3, so that's a 18.
Yeah. You think you got through, and he sits there quietly for a while. He says, I have a niece I haven't seen in quite some time, and perhaps I should pay them a visit. Why don't I want you to first off, I will sign off on the job as complete. Um, I want you to release the ghosts. I think I need to see what they have to show me.
Mr. Funk, that's your first altruistic thing you've done, and you've just saved all of our jobs. I want you to know that. She
I think you may be saving a lot more for me.
she doesn't really give him an option, but wraps him in a hug. Gives him a like one of those like dude pats on the back.
He immediately stiffens up like a possum facing down a coyote. But gives you like a very awkward return pat.
He has never
You don't
known
think he's
like
yeah.
warmth or kindness.
You don't think he's ever been hugged in his life.
Yeah. I bet his relationship with his dad is awesome.
Yeah, stellar. This guy's a boomer. Imagine what his dad was like.
Auga.
You guys, he will sign the paperwork. You, you, he's in a good mood, so you don't feel too awkward ripping up the floorboards and retrieving your trap and unwinding all of your cable. And you pack up for Christmas Eve. It's actually technically Christmas morning. It's a little after 1. As you see him standing in his doorway at the top of the hill, backlit by the door, and he waves as you, I assume, are you going to release the ghost as he has requested?
Yeah, I think we see sparks in the truck, right?
Mhm.
And to release the ghosts, he like removes a big, heavy, I don't know, the rest of that pack or whatever off
Yeah.
the lid of the thing and kind of like make sure that the back doors are wide open, you know, and like just tries to open it and hide himself behind the door of the thing, as whatever techno mechanical seal is like ripped and these two great powerful beings can like erupt out of the thing. um,
They as
yeah, and
they
I
do,
think
they
I think
shoot right
he's
out the back.
yeah, he's trying very hard not to be even
Oh,
seen
sorry.
by these things, you know.
They swirl around the top of the van for a couple laps, and then they stop as they settle down, and you feel each one of yourselves being regarded by them in turn, and you feel like there's no hard feelings. The job will be done. Um, and they rush towards the house, up the step toward the old man waiting at the top. And standing behind him, you see a large robed figure, dark, very reminiscent of the Grim Reaper. And you feel like
Let
maybe
man feel
he
that
doesn't
one.
quite know what he's gotten himself into. But as that happens, you slam the door. You've gotten your holiday rate. Addie hops back in the front seat, pump the gas twice, twice forward, twice back, ignition. The ice cream song starts playing first. Sparks has to lick his fingers and grab the connection again, and then the Ghostbusters siren starts coming out. As Ecto 315 heads back towards the station. What's it like in the ice cream truck as you guys are riding back?
Bounce around in my little wheelie chair back there, just held together with like bungee cords.
I, I think um, while we're like driving, the TV flickers on. Like none of us have touched it, right? But like because of the proximity of the ghosts or whatever, the TV flickers on, and it's like um, I forget what the name of the movie was. Where it's like, was it It's a Wonderful Life or something like that, where the guy
So
like sees the impacts that he has on the people around him. Like that movie is playing, and
Mm.
like it's like a
every time a
commercial
bell
free
rings.
playthrough of that movie. And like we can't turn it off or anything like that. It's just kind of like quietly playing in the van or the ice cream truck, I should say.
Well, this one's one of my favorites. Second to White Christmas. That one's also great, but I just love that Bing Crosby's voice.
Yeah, I think Penelope is kind of looking wistfully, like, back towards the house, like, thinking about, like, how she saw some of herself in that old man, and she's just thinking, like, "Man, like, maybe I don't wanna be old and alone, like, maybe I need to, like, think about life, maybe I need to, like, make better connections, maybe I need to, like, really show people," and she turns, like, after they've kind of, like, left, and she looks back at them, and she says, "Merry Christmas, you guys. Like, seriously, Merry Christmas."
Yeah. Merry
Merry Kiss.
Christmas. Also, I'm very glad we didn't have to fight death.
Yeah, yeah.
You guys see
I
that?
in the book that is like it does describe the third one as that, and I just did not want to tell y'all because I felt like, whew, that was a better one to go in a little blind on. I'm glad we didn't have to deal with it. That's for sure. Like, thanks to Penelope here. That old curmudgeon might see the faults of his ways, but Mm. Oh, well, it's I guess the kiddos are probably asleep. Y'all wanna help me think that Santa came?
Yeah,
Uh,
I
Yeah.
do.
That sounds like a fun time.
Wonderful. We gotta go back by the, station. I left a lot of goodies in bags because those kids, they find everything I hide. Granted, I hide it
Do,
in the same.
do you happen to need 15 Christmas trees? Because I had to buy all the Christmas trees I damaged.
We could find a use for them, I'm sure.
That'd be great.
I got lots of windows. That's real nice to see.
Maybe just all over your front yard, or something like that. I don't know. They don't have to be in your house because
Decorate
my
'em.
apartment smells like pine in the worst way.
Yeah, let's get those out. So we'll go by the shop, we'll go by the house, we'll get them. But yeah, fully like she has like an ungodly amount of like cookies and has like these giant like very clearly large man boots, probably her husband's that she would like stick in the soot and make little like Santa footprints on the carpet.
So good.
Like has little stockings and stuff. But like y'all pull up to her house and it's like the fucking house from Home Alone. Like she this explains why she has never made a dime and just causes a
She's got the
mess.
3 floors, all the windows. Yeah.
Like, all
That
right, we
I
can put a
Handling
Christmas tree in that
everyone.
window, and that window, and that window, and that window, and that should get rid of 10 of them. Then we put the other 2 out here.
Oh my god. Sounds great.
As you guys settle into your impromptu Christmas festivity of the night of 14 Christmas trees, you you take a moment to just enjoy each other's company and the spirit of togetherness that the season tends to bring out in all of us. And with that, we will wrap this up and call it the
Oh,
end.
such a great game. Oh my gosh.
I
It
love
has the
that.
virtue of being easily hackable and simple.
Yes. Oh, love it.
um, I guess I will let everyone introduce themselves one more time, and then we can sign out.
Yeah.
Um, Taylor, do you want to start us off and pick your next victim?
Sure. Um, hello. So yeah, I am Taylor. I've been your Jan today, the wonderful mom of 4 and an ungodly amount of grandkids, and has probably adopted the 3 of you into her life at this point. Um, you can find me on the internet at potato, put underscores before and after it on that site. But yeah, you can find me mostly here doing all sorts of things. David talked about our werewolf game. Got that coming back. You can find me on that. We have beacons on Wednesday and every other Wednesday. You can find me on that as well as maybe Dies coming back.
Ooh.
Interesting. In the new year. You can also find me over on Lost Caravan every other Monday, starting back up in January for Lancer Dustgrave, but we're not Dustgrave anymore. We're now Hell's something.
Hell's
Hellfire?
Gate, I think.
Hell's
Oh.
Gate. Hell's Gate. So very excited for that. We're all gonna die, I'm sure. As well as if you are a fan of magical girls, you should look up Bloom and Blight. It is a wonderful Girl by Midnight podcast that I am the director for. The wonderful Anna and Kit have been producing and editing. It's beautiful. Logan and Candace have been amazing in it. We just recorded a holiday special yesterday. I got to play as like the NPC in the game that they used to be a part of the magical team, and so that was super fun. We had a guest director for that, so keep an eye out. It is absolutely wonderful. As well as in the new year, I'll be running a Thirsty Sword Lesbian game over on Entropy Emporium, our wonderful friend JT's new channel starting up. Kian's going to be in that. Blair's going to be in that. Some other friends that you've seen and haven't seen on HSC will also be joining me. So that's me.
All right. Do we want to go? We'll do Kian next.
Hello, hello, everybody. My name is Kian. My pronouns are they, he. You can find me on the interwebs at uptight_chiffon, uptight-chiffon, just depending on which platform you're on. As Taylor mentioned, I hang out over on Entropy Emporium, or I will be hanging out there in the new year. I'll be on Taylor's campaign, Thirsty Sword Lesbians. I'll be playing another campaign using the Cypher system there. Super excited about that. Every other Wednesday, I am also on Beacon. So next Wednesday, Taylor, myself, and Kit will be hanging out up to some shenanigans with super secret world-ending machine. Terrified,
She's my
casual. It's
best
gonna be
friend.
fine. So yeah, it's cool. And every other Saturday for a little while longer over on Lost Caravan. We're done for the year. We're picking it back up in the new year. But Fatal Ascension, our Fabulous Ultimate campaign that I'm also with Taylor on that campaign. That one is it's a good time. Who bullies us in that one, but it's good. It's great. Everybody has a fun, grand old time. Once a month, I'm over on Singularity Roleplay. I am in our Gay Camp campaign. That is a slasher flick taking place at Queer Summer Camp. That's a very good time. I'm sure that there's something else that I'm forgetting, but follow me on social media. That's where you will find out whatever next project I'm going to be in. And that's me.
All right, Marlo.
That's me. My name is Marlo. I go by Marlo Bogwitch anywhere you can find me, which is only Instagram and Twitter or X or whatever we're calling it these days. I don't do much social media anymore, but you can reach me through there.
Hmm.
So if you'd like to put me in your game, please let me know. I am open to games, especially horror games. I love horror. I love all things horror, and I can and will cry for you on stream. So I mean, that may be an added bonus. Some people like that. I don't know. I have one podcast that I'm on that they're just taking a break right now, a small hiatus. Our producer's a little overworked, bless his heart. But it's Tales to Inspire. It's an alternate history podcast with superheroes. So it's set in World War II. We are punching Nazis. I'm playing a Hollywood starlet who has psychic powers. So it's kind of interesting. She does some crazy stuff. She's also a hot mess. Nothing like me. Why would you say that? Hello? Sorry. And then also starting in the new year, I'm going to be in an Old Gods of Appalachia game on Baldrian's channel. That'll be starting the first week. It's every Thursday, and it starts the first week of January. Very excited. I'm playing I'm pulling a card from Taylor's book. I'm playing a mama in that one. Old Southern girl from the holler. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna be fighting old gods. It's gonna be sick. So I'm excited for that. Other than that, not much else going on. So I'm around. You got a game you want me to be in? Let me know. I'll think about it. Probably will do it. That's it.
David, did you want to go or did you want to wrap everything up?
I'll wrap everything up at the end. So go ahead, Jason.
Okay. I'm Jason. Most places I'm known as some version of Graphical Ronin, usually with an underscore in between. On Twixter, I'm JJSYNN because I started it years ago and I had no idea what I was doing. I will be in January. I'll be over on Lost Caravan playing in Lancer, Hell's Gate with Taylor. Hoop is going to destroy me emotionally, and I will probably end up crying on stream. It's gonna happen. It's almost
Y'all, when
happened a
the
couple times
finale
already.
drops on YouTube, you gotta watch it. Poor Jason
Yeah.
got drugged.
There is
The
shit in
ringer.
my head, and I cannot get it out. I think I'm breaking my Pathfinder cherry over there in this January too. So watch me play a very crunchy system that I have no understanding of.
That is.
Well, or just watch Lancer because it's the same thing, really. I just
We
wait for
kinda
them to
know.
tell me what the dice mean. Other than that, I'm just poking around the internet. I'll probably pop up on streams from time to time, so look out for me. I do character commissions and art and stuff, so find me on one of those social medias, and I'll draw something for you. Merry
I do have
Christmas,
something I need to
happy
bring up with you.
holidays.
Yeah.
Me personally?
Drawing something.
Oh, very nice.
A commission
Uh,
opportunity.
oh, I will accept greedily. And I just want to wish a happy whatever you celebrate to everyone out there. Be joyous, be happy. Um, free your spirits because the world is kind of crap right now.
For sure. Indeed.
That's it.
Thank you, Jason, and thank you everybody else for playing tonight. This was so much fun, and I'm really glad that we got to do this little adventure together. What a fun like one shot that you put together for us, Jason. Thank you. Folks, we're gonna raid Lost Caravan tonight because we talked about them a lot, and they're playing Lancer tonight, which is awesome. My name is David. I'm always here at High Shelf Collective. You can find me at High Shelf David on all the socials except for X, because fuck that guy. And so yeah, we're gonna send some love over to Lost Caravan. Give them some emotes. Give them a follow if you haven't already. They're an awesome crew. And yeah,
They look so
as
stressed right now. I'm so excited. Let's
yeah. Oh
go.
yeah, they
Oh,
are in
it's
they're in
nice to be on the other
hood.
side of that.
They're in a hood, which is great. All right.
Elsie's doing this right now.
It's so good. So good. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and we are of course still raising funds for Elevated Access. We've done an amazing job this year. We want to keep up the fun. So if you want to win surprises, donate some money. $10, every $10 get you a raffle ticket for that. All right, with that, we're gonna go. And as always, have fun and play well.
May all your rolls be crits. And a happy new year to all ours. I don't know. How does that go?